And joining us once again on the Stadium Pregame Show, brought to you by Full Throttle Power Sports of Lowell, is the coach of the defending state champion East Lincoln Mustangs. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having me, man.
Well, Coach, this is a different feeling this week, coming off a defeat for the first time in almost 2 years. Talk a little bit about some of the things you might have learned about your team in the game last week against Hickory, and maybe a couple things that might have made a difference in the outcome.
Yeah, I think, they say the true test of character is always, what somebody's going to do when they have pressure on them. And we didn't react the way that I thought we would. And again, I'm going to preface all this with saying that Hickory, and I told you ahead of time, Hickory was a very good and is a very good football team. And their quarterback was all he was built to be, and they played really well. But we could have helped ourselves out a little bit there. So, I think not only the coaches, but I think the kids learned too that, this is an emotional game. And if you let your emotions get the best of you, then it's not usually not going to end for very well.
Well, this is something that hasn't happened in a while, almost 2 years since a defeat. Some of your varsity players may have not experienced one before. So, what's your team's attitude been like this week in practice?
It's been a roller coaster. It's been up and down. Monday it was a lot of film, and it was emotional. I think it's emotional for a kid, especially a lot of the seniors who played a lot last year on that team, and maybe even played a little bit as sophomores on varsity. We haven't lost a lot, so it was emotional Monday, and there was a lot of stuff said by coaches and a lot of stuff accepted by players that need to be said, needed to be accepted. And there's just certain parts of our game where we didn't play very good. But, Tuesday got a little better, and I thought Wednesday's practice was absolutely fantastic. So, we'll see what happens. But I think we got better as the week went on.
So now you're prepping this week coming off the defeat, but again, in this front-loaded conference schedule, you come in with Statesville, who was expected to be one of the top teams in the league. So back-to-back, you get Hickory and Statesville right out of the gate. That's pretty tough matchup there for you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're right. And I've talked about it with you, and I've talked about it with the coaches, and I've talked about it with the kids in the off-season. If we're not on our game early, then our game's really gone. So this is a big week. If we want to still have a chance at that conference championship, if we still want to worry about making the playoffs, if we still want to worry about our seed, we've got to get Statesville. And like you said, they're a good team. They're a very solid team. They're fast. They're big. They're really well coached. And what they didn't have a couple of years ago, what they have now, they're very well disciplined. Watching them on film, you see the other teams don't look as disciplined as they are. So, that's hats off to Coach Collins. So, you got a fast, big, disciplined team that's going to be a dangerous opponent.
Looking at what Statesville's done this season, what surprises me is 4 games, and they've all been fairly low-scoring games. You expect something a little bit different maybe this week? Usually, you just came off a high-scoring game. Do you think this one might be played a little differently?
Well, tongue-in-cheek here, if our defense doesn't play any better, I guess they could probably score 49 again on us. But, that's just I think we'll improve in that standpoint. I think they have the ability to score. They've had a lot of miscues, snaps, fumbles, things not going their way. But it's going to be hard to score on their defense. They're very aggressive. They're good tacklers. They're good in space. I understand why all their games have been low scoring. At least from a defensive standpoint, they're really good defensively. So I think it's going to be a tough task for us to score a lot of points on them. But again, the hope is always just to score one more than them.
Looking at some of the players and some of the video I've seen of different games this year, they do some things like Hickory. They get the ball out quickly when they're throwing it, some short stuff, and they try and make people miss. Who are some of the players that you really need to keep an eye on, try and keep in check for Statesville?
But they're very similar skill-wise to what we faced there with Hickory. All their wide receivers are good. I don't think any of them are outstanding, but they're all really, really good. So they've got a good group of wide receivers. They've got 3 that I've seen really solid running backs that all have a little bit different game, but they're all quick, they're all fast. Some are a little bit more aggressive, some are a little more jukey. So their skill players are, kind of out of this world. And then I think they're actually a little bit bigger than Hickory up front, as far as I can tell. So I just think that offensively they've struggled to put things together because of miscues and mental errors. And I think, Coach Collins will get that fixed. But defensively, man, their whole D line and their linebackers get after it. And then again, their secondary is really super athletic. So there's not a lot of balls in the air that they don't get to. So, I mean, it's weird. Like, when we're facing Hickory, it's like, who's their best receiver? Well, they're all good. Well, now that you're facing Statesville, it's like, who's their best receiver? Well, they're all good. So we just have to be on top of our game, try and figure out what they're trying to do and then try and stop it.
Now, we've talked a bit about defenses here. What about offense on your side? Is there anything you're going to try and do a little bit differently after last week?
I think offensively last week we played a pretty good game. We didn't play our best game, and there's points there where I think we could have done a little bit more. But a ton of faith. I mean, generally speaking, in the 17 years I've been at East Lincoln, if you score 28 points, we win that ball game. So, if offense can score 28 points, I would say 90% of the time we're winning that ball game. So really, I think last week's letdown was a defensive letdown more than it was offensive. I think if offense just keeps grinding away like they are, keep giving the ball to Daly and mix in Nate there and get the ball out to our wide receivers. I think we had a pretty good offensive game. It wasn't stellar, it wasn't our best offensive game, but I think we did pretty good. And definitely good enough for us to win. I just think we have to get better defensively.
Well, Coach, we thank you for joining us on the pregame show, brought to you by Full Throttle Power Sports of Lowell, and best of luck against the Greyhounds tonight.
Thank you, David.
Full Throttle Power Sports in Law is proud to announce the addition of Brian Lane to their sales staff. And Brian wants to take this time to invite his friends and former customers of Al Lane Motorsports in Lincoln to come see him at Full Throttle Power Sports in Law, featuring brand names like CF Moto, Yamaha, Honda, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Polaris, and more. See Brian Lane at Full Throttle Power Sports, 101 Indian Walk of I-85 in Law, online at ncfullthrottle.com. First Federal Savings Bank. They've been serving Lincoln County and the surrounding counties since 1940. If you're looking to build your dream home, purchase a new home, or buy land, they have the products and services for you. At First Federal Savings Bank, they want to get to know you by name and build a relationship for generations to come. Give them a call at 704-735-0416 or visit the website at ffsb-nc.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Start up the savings on your auto insurance with a stop at Turner Hauser Insurance Group in downtown Lincoln, your area insurance agency. Jamie Hauser invites you to stop in and find out how you can save money on all of your insurance needs, from home to auto to commercial to farm to life. Visit them at their office at 228 East Main Street, downtown Lincoln. Just look for the big blue awning. That's Turner Hauser Insurance Group, your area insurance agency. Call 704-732-9577 or visit the website at turnerhauserins.com.
Folks, if you are looking to buy a new metal building, let me tell you the place to go. Unrivaled Metal Buildings in Lincoln. With over 20 years experience, they specialize in metal carports, garages, RV covers, storage sheds, and more. They offer bank financing and a credit-free rent-to-own program. All of their units are engineer certified to meet local wind and snow requirements. Commercial sizes are available as well. Address is 2541 East Main Street, Lincoln, or call 844-848-8676. Also, check their website out at unrivaledmetalbuildings.com.
Hey, I'm Joey Logano, and if you're looking for affordable, quality equipment, James River delivers.
Whether you're mowing your lawn, hauling material, or baling hay, James River has the John Deere mowers, tractors, Gator utility vehicles, and implements you need to get it done fast. Plus, with low-rate financing and big cash rebates, James River makes owning a John Deere just as easy as it is to operate. Request a quote online at jamesriverequipment.com.
James River delivers affordable quality.
It's the all-new Nissan of Shelby, where they do the right thing. First time, every time. Nissan of Shelby now has new management, plus a big new inventory with new prices, giving you a whole new customer experience. Check their amazing lineup, Nissan Rogues and Muranos, and trucks like the Nissan Frontier and Titan, plus a wide range of pre-owned vehicles with special rates and pricing. Come to the all-new Nissan of Shelby, 631 South Post Road, right off Highway 74 East in Shelby. Online at nissanofshelby.com. You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too.
Who are you going to call? Bug Busters. Since 1998, Bug Busters has been serving North and South Carolina with the very best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned, Bug Busters is there for your pest control, crawl space, encapsulation, termites, wildlife, structural repair, and waterproofing. Just call 704-732-2227 or visit their website at bugbusters.com. Like them on Facebook too. Bug Busters Pest Control and Home Improvement, 2863 Highway 27 East in Lincoln. Who you going to call? Bug Busters.
Triad Corrugated Metal in Lincoln is this area's headquarters for premium metal roofing and supplies. And now just arrived, square tubing for metal carports and metal buildings. Give them a call at 980-429-2278 for pricing and sizes. And they have a wide variety of colors. Visit the website at triadcorrugatedmetal.com and like them on Facebook too. Triad Corrugated Metal, 108 Industrial Park Road in Lincoln. Since 1919, Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Lincoln County and surrounding area. And today they continue to serve this area and beyond with quality fuels and outstanding service. In addition to fuel oil, they also carry all kinds of lubricants, from hydraulic fluid to automatic transmission fluid to farm lubricants, plus diesel fuel, home heating oil, and kerosene. That's Rhodes and Bill Oil Company, 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Call 704-735-2508 and online at nesbitoil.com. Ram Power Days are underway now at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lincoln. It's prime time for exclusive deals. Power Days are here. Now get $1,500 bonus cash on all new 2023 Ram 2500 and 3500 models. But that's not all. Get $4,000 consumer cash on most new 2023 Ram 1500 models. Don't miss Ram Power Days. Underway now at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1442 East Main Street in Lincoln.
Bennett Funeral Service is a proud supporter of Lincoln County Athletics, and we wish them a successful season. Bennett Funeral Service is family-owned and operated by Robbie and Rhonda Bennett, and they care about you and your family, featuring traditional funerals and cremation services. And yes, pre-planning transfers are accepted. For more information, call 828-465-2111. Visit their website at bennettfuneralservice.com. In your time of need, call upon Bennett Funeral Service, 7878 Highway 16 in Newton and 502 First Avenue South in Conover. We are here for you.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
Who are you going to call? Bug Busters. Since 1998, Bug Busters has been serving North and South Carolina with the very best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned, Bug Busters is there for your pest control, crawl space, encapsulation, termites, wildlife, structural repair, and waterproofing. Just call 704-732-2227 or visit their website at bugbusters.com. Like them on Facebook too. Bug Busters Pest Control and Home Improvement, 2863 Highway 27 East in Lincoln. Who you going to call? Bug Busters.
You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too. No matter your lifestyle, Tyndall Ford in Gastonia has a car and a program just for you. Try Tyndall, trust Tyndall, and you'll love Tyndall Ford, who also happens to be the premier Roush dealer in the world. Check out the Discover Summer Sales event underway now. Ask about special financing plus cash back. And check out the selection of pre-owned vehicles. You're invited to become one of the Tyndall Ford family members today. Tyndall Ford, 1901 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at tyndallford.com, serving this area since 1974.
Cycle them through.
And just remember, this is only a game.
Yeah, we got it here too.
Just remember policy.
We had a green light here, but okay.
Just follow the rules and have
All
a
right,
good game.
thanks.
A moment of silence, please. Thank you.
We shouldn't be. We're in commercial.
Who you going to call? Bug Busters. Since 1998, Bug Busters has been serving North and South Carolina with the very best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned, Bug Busters is there for your pest control, crawl space, encapsulation, termites, wildlife, structural repair, and waterproofing. Just call 704-732-2227 or visit their website at bugbusters.com. Like them on Facebook too. Bug Busters Pest Control and Home Improvement, 2863 Highway 27 East in Lincoln. Who you going to call? Bug Busters.
Is played by the Mustang Marching Band with their brand new uniforms, black with very bright green trim. We understand we've had some technical difficulties, so we'll reset things here again. The interview for Coach Lubowitz played. We should have heard that. And we've went a little bit about Statesville and East Lincoln. So let's take a look at some of the, you're listening to the Stadium Pregame Show brought to you by Full Throttle Power Sports of Lowell and our title sponsor, Bug Busters of Lincolnton. So let's take a look at a couple of the key players that we know for Statesville. Again, we'll let you know that stats and information about Statesville is very hard to find. It's kind of like trying to crack the files of the KGB or something.
Yeah, so like I said, a lot of the stuff we just have names. After listening to Coach Lubowitz for East Lincoln and looking at some of the previews from the Charlotte Observer and whatnot, we know that Noah Owens, wide receiver, defensive back, very athletic, is kind of old school, kind of plays a little bit of everything, a little baseball, basketball, kind of the big sports, as when we were younger. But and then you have a little different type of quarterback, 6'2", 225, Trey Turner at the quarterback position, and we have some skill positions and David Clark and Jahali Sherrill that we've been looking at. And then Coach also mentioned the size of the offensive line.
Oh my goodness,
pretty good size.
Huge.
And we're kind of watching them in pregame, and they were lumbering around here. Look like they're. Hopefully, well, we'll see. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago in a different game, but we'll see how well they can get off the ball and push East Lincoln around here.
They've got one player, number 77, listed at 440 pounds. I mean, that is a load. That was Jonathan Eccles, senior offensive lineman, defensive lineman. He's a nose tackle.
Well, he's definitely defensive tackle. He's definitely in the interior if he's on the defensive side of the ball. But, yeah, what I put down is, you got Rayshawn Brown, 6 foot 270, Jeremiah Hagan, 6'3", 310, Kendra Williams, 6'2", 260. Rucker's probably the center, but he's 6'5", and only 240. So
lightweight.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if those guys are on the offensive line, and then I'm sure there's a couple on the defensive side of the ball as well.
So we're looking at key players to watch, brought to you by Key Builders of Lincolnton. And over on the East Lincoln side, it's a lot of names that you're familiar with now. Yes, they had a lot of people graduate, but there's still quite a few players back. Defensively, there's always in the middle, there's Marcel Johnson. He just stirs the drink for the defensive line. Always getting in the backfield, disrupting plays, and comes in every once in a while as a running back in short yardage situations, and he'd be a load in that particular. Then, of course, at running back, you've got Chris Daly. He coming off a 1,700-yard season last year. He's currently at 490 yards in just 4 games, so he's still ticking off the yardage. Not quite at the level as last year, but still getting the job done. Receiving-wise, the 2 big receivers, the possession receiver, you think of Wes Welker type, you're thinking of Danny Amendola, if you're thinking of possession receivers. He's that type. 16 catches, 268 yards, 4 touchdowns. If you want somebody who can go deep, Riley Shropshire. 7 catches, 184 yards. He's averaging over 26 per catch. We saw him last week, 2 big bombs he caught, 4 touchdowns on the season, 2 last week. And then defensively, besides Marcel Johnson, you called out Raiden Brooks' name a lot last week against Hickory. He had a really good game. It just wasn't enough to get them over the hump.
Yeah, like I said, as Coach mentioned, offensively they were fine. He kind of mentioned that if you score 28 points, a lot of times you're going to win a ball game. It was on the defensive side that they had little bit of an issue. Just really couldn't stop Hickory. Hickory, ran hard, obviously, in the second half with Isaiah Lackey, and the quarterback looked fantastic, looking receivers off and coming back and throwing some over the line.
Quick release, too.
Yeah.
That ball came out fast.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll expect a little bit better defensive show here for East Lincoln tonight as they get ready. Again, as you mentioned when we were off the air, on the air, how they come back and rebound defensively against Statesville, who's 1-0 and had only lost last year was against East Lincoln.
You're listening to the Stadium Pregame Show, brought to you by Full Throttle Power Sports of Lowell. We'll be back with the opening kickoff after this. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week on KTC Broadcasting.
Plan now to attend this year's Cleveland County Fair, September 28th through October 8th. 11 big days of fun for the entire family. Entertainment includes Act Monsters Chainsaw Work, The Circus Incredible with high-flying aerial artists, The Electrifying Magic, starring Jay Matoli from America's Got Talent, and Showtime at the Apollo, and Hog Diggity Dog, the very best animal act ever, and Nashville recording artist John Morris, along with 40 ride-hopper rides, games, food stands, and more. The Cleveland County Fair, September 28th through October 8th, online at clevelandcountyfair.com. Attention home buyers. Call Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control before purchasing your new home to avoid getting stuck with extensive damage, typically not covered by homeowners insurance. Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control will inspect your home for prior or present wood-destroying insects and moisture. Call Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control today to schedule your free estimate at 1-800-7-THE-WEB and receive $25 off any new service from Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control. First Federal Savings Bank. They've been serving Lincoln County and the surrounding counties since 1940. If you're looking to build your dream home, purchase a new home, or buy land, they have the products and services for you. At First Federal Savings Bank, they want to get to know you by name and build a relationship for generations to come. Give them a call at 704-735-0416 or visit the website at ffsb-nc.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flip through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their mini floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
There's some big deals going on now at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Save big, and we mean big, on 4 remaining 2023 Buick Encore GXs. Plus, take $3,000 off any remaining 2023 Buick Enclave. And remaining 2023 Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra trucks are $1,500 off. Yes, these prices are red hot at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC, 1445 East Main Street, Lincoln. Online at abernathychevrolet.com. Where you get your tag does make a difference. At the North Carolina DMV Tag Office in Lincoln, they want to make sure your tag purchase experience is a pleasant one. They're located at 2683 East Main Street in Lincoln, in the Carolina Shopping Center. It's big and spacious, and they have plenty of attendants to help serve you. They want to get you in and out as fast as possible. The North Carolina DMV Tag Office at 2683 East Main Street in the Carolina Shopping Center, Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
And I'm not sure about this strategy, but you can't see it at home, but there's a decent breeze tonight. It's going from the right side of your radio to the left side of your radio. But Statesville will be going into the wind the second and the fourth quarter. I don't know if they have much of a kicker. It seems like every time they score a touchdown, I don't see an extra point. So maybe they don't worry too much about kicking, but East Lincoln will have the wind at their back for the second and the fourth quarter. So we're just about ready to get underway here. Ramon Gray, number 0, will kick off. Back to receive, number 5, Riley Shropshire. Comes to the up back. Jackson Beam catches it about the 20-yard line, gets up to the 26 before he's snowed under. So the Mustangs will start off 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Now I see 75 on the defensive side. We're talking about the size. That's 6'2", 310 for Statesville.
Typical East Lincoln formation, 2 wide receivers to each side. Chris Daly to the left of the quarterback. Daly takes a handoff, and he is stacked up immediately. They're going to drop him for a loss.
They're saying they got the ball.
And they got the football. And Chris Daly is not getting up.
Well, Coach
he is holding his knee or his hamstring, but he was met immediately behind the line of scrimmage. Statesville is carrying on like they've got the football.
Yeah, that was, Coach Lubowitz mentioned the aggressiveness of the linebacking group over at Statesville. And number 8, Taven Rucker, met him square at the line of scrimmage. And we'll have to wait and see if Daly gets up.
So it is a turnover. They are moving the sticks going the other way. So there was a fumble on the play. It's going to be loss of 1. But it's going to be a turn of possession, and that's one of the 3 key plays from last week's game that really turned it around. Daly fumbled in his own end, and it kind of swung the tide around. It got to the point where Hickory was going to take the lead every time they scored, not East Lincoln. So this could be a big play right out of the gate for determining the outcome of this game.
Yeah, like you say, it was the fumble that Hickory was able to capitalize. He capitalized on a punt, inside the 10-yard line or so of East Lincoln and forced a 3 and out. And East Lincoln was playing catch-up most of the night. We hope that Chris Daly is okay. Maybe just got the wind knocked out of him, or.
He was clutching his knee or his hamstring, it looked like, when he was laying down there.
Yeah, I can't see what they're working on. They're just he's up on his feet now. Yeah, walking gingerly.
He's putting no weight on his right leg. That's not a good sign, unfortunately, for the Mustangs. Their big workhorse in the backfield. And he is being helped off the field by the training staff. So going in to the backfield now, let's see what happens. Looks like Jalen Roseborough. Well, that's not going to matter. I forgot they fumbled the ball. This is defensive lineup.
26-yard line?
Yeah, 1st and 10 on the 26.
Greyhounds a 1st and 10 at the Mustang 26-yard line.
Quarterback number 19.
Trey Tucker.
Turner.
Trey
Turner.
I was close.
That's all right.
Me and names, what can I say?
6'2", 260. But we watched him in warm-up moves pretty well for a quarterback that's 260. We'll see what.
And before we can get anything going here, we've got a flag thrown by one of the side judges here. Dead ball foul, offside. You don't usually see offside on the offensive team. That's usually the defensive, but that'll be a 5-yard penalty, and East Lincoln will take every bit they can get, I'm sure. So in the backfield, looks to be number 2, Makion Davis, and 0, Ramon Gray. They're on either side of Turner. Turner hands it off. It goes to Davis. Davis is one of the quicker players. Davis was one of the ones I noticed on film. There was some huddle highlights out on Max Preps, and he's good at getting to the outside and getting yardage. So he gets down to the 18-yard line, so that'll be a gain of 15, and
Yeah, Raiden Brooks forced him out at the 18. Again, middle linebacker, good side to side, was able to stop him from getting any further, but with a short yardage coming up.
So 13-yard gain. Handoff is again to Davis up the middle. He's going to have enough for a Turner Hauser Insurance first down for Statesville as he gets down to the 12-yard line. So another gain of 6 on that play.
Yeah, just a straight give right up the middle. I think the quarterback was reading it, trying to see if anybody collapsed down on it, but he gave it to him. Just needed 3 yards to get the first down and was able to get 5.
One thing I've seen is when he does take the snap, he takes a step forward to see what he wants to do. There's a step. Now he keeps it this time, goes up the middle, bowls his way through one tackler, gets down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line.
Well, again, we mentioned the size of the quarterback, 260, so I expect to see a lot of that tonight. After Lackey last week was able to just run up the field like with Hickory last week, doing, pretty much from the Wildcat formation. He's basically a
Especially
Wildcat.
In the second half.
Yeah,
the first half they threw it a lot more, but the second half they really ran Lackey. Now Statesville saw something. Hands off to Davis. He's met at the line, but spins his way out of it. Gets down to about the 2-yard line. Looked like he was going to be stopped for no gain on that play, but spins out, gains 3. Should be close to a first down.
Yeah, Good was able to get in the backfield and meet him at the line of scrimmage, but he was able to break through and pick up positive yards on that one. So good effort, and was finished off there by number 9, Hager, for East Lincoln.
So another first down for Statesville. It's going to be first and goal from about the 2-yard line. So gain of 3 on that play. Handoff. Davis goes into the pile, waiting for a signal. Too many bodies there to tell at the moment.
Just short.
And he's going to be marked short.
Yeah. That was good penetration there by Estes on the defensive line for the Mustangs. Again, the quarterback just grabbed it, just went straight up the gut.
I'm surprised he couldn't get in, but that's on the East Lincoln defense to really gum it up and stop somebody his size coming in hard.
I expect to see that again here, I would imagine.
Now, this time he hands it off to Davis, and there's a better surge, and it's a touchdown for Statesville. And touchdowns are brought to you by Whitetail Properties of Falston, as Statesville goes ahead 6-0 with the James River Equipment extra point upcoming. Or conversion.
Yeah, I don't see a kicker, so.
One thing we've noticed is every time they score, it only seems to go up by 6 points, so I'm not sure they even have a kicker. They've got their offense in there. They're going to go for a 2-point conversion here with their normal offensive set. Turner throws it quick. And the catch is made, so the conversion is good. Looked to be caught by Tyreek Carter. Was it number 9?
I think that's right.
So it looked like the pass, a quick slant pattern to Tyreek Carter for 2. And on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, just 2.5 minutes into the game, it's Statesville 8, East Lincoln 0. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
There's some big deals going on now at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Save big, and we mean big, on 4 remaining 2023 Buick Encore GXs. Plus, take $3,000 off any remaining 2023 Buick Enclave. And remaining 2023 Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra trucks are $1,500 off. Yes, these prices are red hot at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC, 1445 East Main Street, Lincoln. Online at abernathychevrolet.com. Where you get your tag does make a difference. At the North Carolina DMV Tag Office in Lincoln, they want to make sure your tag purchase experience is a pleasant one. They're located at 2683 East Main Street in Lincoln, in the Carolina Shopping Center. It's big and spacious, and they have plenty of attendants to help serve you. They want to get you in and out as fast as possible. The North Carolina DMV Tag Office at 2683 East Main Street in the Carolina Shopping Center, Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
Back now at East Lincoln, the kickoff has been made. Riley Shropshire brings it back up the field and gets the WWE slam on the tackle a bit. So it's 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. Lawless back to pass. Quick hitter over the middle. He's got L.J. Forney. Forney gets it out near the 34-yard line and a first down as they started at their own 24.
Yeah, just a little stop pattern. Took about 2 steps, turned around, quick release. Was able to pick up that Turner Hauser first down.
So it was a 10-yard completion to Forney. Handoff up the middle. Forgot to check and see who's gone in at running back as Chris Daly is sitting on the sideline. He went up the middle.
Was it number 11, number 1?
Nate Stevens.
Yeah.
Brought down by number 75, Jeremiah Higgins.
So Stevens with a carry, and he stopped for no gain. So Stevens, who has spelled Daly on occasions, had a good game down at Forest View and a long run for a touchdown up at Hickory, will be the big mail carrier now for the Mustangs. Up the middle again, Marcel Johnson in on running back, as he will sometimes, and the big man blows through a hole on the left side, gets out to midfield. That'll be another Turner Hauser Insurance first down.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of this formation last week in the second half. That was one of the adjustments East Lincoln made, was come out with a 2-back set, kind of run a little counters with each of the backs, and that time Johnson just, straight up the gut. Big load to bring down. Great gain there. Another Turner Hauser first down.
And for a big guy, he's got a burst. I mean, he went through there quick. Lawless looks to hand off. Now he's scrambling around in the backfield. He throws a long pass down the field. Good adjustment by Shropshire. Makes the catch. Shropshire actually had to work his way back past the defender. Comes back and makes the catch.
Yeah, number 2 Davis for Statesville. Thought maybe the pass was going to go long towards the end zone. And you mentioned at the beginning that they're into the wind to start the first quarter. And he threw that, and that wind just kind of stopped it.
Looks like a couple of my 8-irons today. They went, and all of a sudden they just died.
But great adjustment there by Shropshire.
So a 42-yard completion there. Lawless to Shropshire, and it's 1st and 10. Okay, and they're going to tack on a roughing the passer call. I thought I saw a penalty flag somewhere, but I couldn't pick it back up after the play.
So about a 4-yard penalty, half the distance.
Yeah, so instead of 1st and goal at the 8, it's 1st and goal at the 4. Mustangs in business, trying to get back into the game after the early turnover.
We're staying with that 2-back set with Johnson and Stevens. Next to Lawless.
Stevens goes in motion. Hand off to Marcel Johnson. He bulls his way through the line, and he's going to be just short of the end zone. But it's going to be 2nd down and very short for the Mustangs.
It looks like you got obviously a bigger back in Johnson and then a little bit more of a slasher in Stevens. At this point of the field, you would think the bigger back would get it, but we've been wrong before.
Lawless hands off to Stevens. He is stacked up at the line by that big defensive line for Statesville. Now let's see what they give him for forward progress. Did he lose any yardage? And it looks to be a loss of 1 on that play. Back to the
Higgins
2.
and Flowers, 2 of the bigger guys for Statesville on the interior of that line, pushed them back.
Some serious space heaters up front for Statesville, especially clogging the middle of the line. Lawless calling the signals. Snap, quick throw. It's deflected at the line of scrimmage, but caught. Was he in the end zone when he caught it? It was Jackson Beam. Now they're saying he didn't catch it. So it'll be incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th and 2.
No instant replay in high school. I couldn't tell. I thought he caught it, but
looked it to me too. I mean, that's what I called.
Got to be careful of those tip passes at the line. It goes straight up. Anybody's ball at that time. Once it's tipped, you can do pretty much anything in the backfield.
So 4th and goal for the 2. A big play here for the Mustangs early in the game. Still less than half of the first quarter gone. Hand off to Marcel Johnson. He gets through the left side. Touchdown, Mustangs. A Whitetail Properties touchdown. Marcel Johnson, the big defensive lineman, now also a running back, blasts through the left side for the 2-yard touchdown to make it 8-6. And I imagine East Lincoln might go for 2, even though Braden Kendall is a very reliable kicker.
And he's come on. Like I said, we saw him at Forest View where he was a little shaky, but then last week he looked like he's got the kicking game down. A little different formation here. Looks like some of a
kind of a swinging gate kind of thing here, and Statesville calls a timeout. So if nothing else, Coach Lubowitz suckered him into wasting a timeout here.
Well, first that timeout you can't take with you, so
that's right, you can't. So,
but still good play. Wait to see how they line up against that. Put the offensive linemen to one side and sort of the skill players, kickers, everybody else over the ball. Against Forestry, that actually worked. They threw it out to Stevens behind the wall and got the 2-point conversion against Forestry.
So we'll keep it here because this will be a short timeout. Kind of like the Statesville coach's fuse there. He was not happy having to call that timeout there. So this will be James River Equipment of Shelby conversion attempt. As we do, now here comes Kendall out. So we'll, but you also have Beam, you have LJ Forney, you have other skilled players out here as well that may not normally be on an extra point blocking unit.
Well, they're doing that same formation, so we'll wait and see what they call.
And now they trot over, and it will be a traditional extra point attempt. Jackson Beam will hold. Braden Kendall will attempt the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. So with 6:22 to go in the first quarter, it's Statesville 8, East Lincoln 7. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week on KTC Broadcasting.
Take your pick on a brand new Bobcat mower from West End Sales in Vail. Pick 0% APR financing for 60 months or get an $800 instant rebate. You just take your pick and pick out your new Bobcat mower. Take a look at a Bobcat ZT2000, $500 instant cash rebate. A Bobcat ZT3000, $700 instant cash rebate. Or the Bobcat ZT3500 with an $800 instant rebate. See them today at West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail. Online at westendsales.com. Like them on Facebook too. No matter your lifestyle, Tyndall Ford in Gastonia has a car and a program just for you. Try Tyndall, trust Tyndall, and you'll love Tyndall Ford, who also happens to be the premier Roush dealer in the world. Check out the Discover Summer Sales event underway now. Ask about special financing plus cash back. And check out the selection of pre-owned vehicles. You're invited to become one of the Tyndall Ford family members today. Tyndall Ford, 1901 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at TyndallFord.com. Serving this area since 1974.
Back at East Lincoln, the kickoff was made. Kendall dribbles it down the field. It's picked up by Anthony Thornton, and he gets corralled by number 4, Jalen Roseboro. But they'll have the ball 1st and 10, but this time they're on their own side of the midfield at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, trying to watch the update on Daly here for East Lincoln. He's been sitting on the table without his helmet.
He did try and walk around a little bit. We're looking at Daly down on the sideline here, and while that's going on, ball's carried by Statesville. They try and get to the corner. They actually lost 2 yards on the play. but no flag. The press box coaches were all saying there was a hold.
Well, they just tried to run a little end around, try to get to the outside, and East Lincoln just stringed it out. He went more sideways than he did anything, and again lost the 2 yards.
So 2nd and 12 for the Greyhounds at their own 28, midway through the first quarter, 8-7, Statesville. Turner back, throws over the middle. It's juggled, and he pulls it in. He bounced that in the air a couple times, caught by Noah Owens. But he paid for that one.
Yeah, they went with 4 wide receivers to the far side, the field side of the play. He came across the interior of the defense and bobbled it one time, and then number 7, Good, put a good lick on him, and he was lucky to hang on to that.
So he did gain 5 yards back, so it'll make it 3rd and about 7.
Looks like they're going 4 wide receivers again to that field side, wide side of the field.
Play clocks are not working tonight, so they're keeping it on the field. We don't know if somebody's pushing the limit or not. Now they shift into a formation here. It's taking an awful lot of time. Turner keeps it, goes around the left side, hit by one, spins out of the grasp of Good, gets across the 35 to the 36, but that's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, there's Brooks again. He's probably one of the players for East Lincoln that can tackle that size quarterback. Great open field tackle by Brooks. Like I said, we called this name a bunch last week. I'm sure we'll call it a bunch tonight.
So 4th down for the Greyhounds. Noah Owens is on to punt, or at least he's in punt formation. Back deep. Can't see the number. Looks like number 5, Riley Shropshire. Owens gets it off just in time. Good came very close to that. Not a great kick, but he's getting a good roll to the far sideline. And it goes out at the 37-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs there after the 3 and out.
Good defensive stand there by East Lincoln. They needed that stop after last week. And a little bit of a shock start with the injury to Daly and the fumble. So that was a great recovery there.
So 1st and 10. Yeah, 1st and 10 at their own 37. Again, you'll probably see a lot. You will see a lot of Nate Stevens, and then sparingly, I think we'll see Marcel Johnson. They'll use him sometimes, not others. He's not on the field currently at the moment.
Yeah, sitting on the bench, catching a breather as he plays defensive line.
Wallace keeps it, goes around the right side, fakes the pitch. He's out across midfield. Almost got the ball strip, but held on to it. He gets out to the Greyhound 47-yard line. So that'll be a gain of 16 for Lawless, one of the best runs we've seen from him this season so far.
Yeah, Gallimore for Statesville met him at the about the 45-yard line, and then from the backside, one of the Statesville players is reaching, trying to grab that ball and strip it. Great job by Lawless to hang on to it.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs. Beam in motion. Lawless back to pass throws. He's got Jalen Roseborough on an in pattern. He's going to be just short of the 1st down. But a nice quick slant there, trying to mix some things up here for the Mustangs.
Yeah, they sent the slot receiver out in motion wide, try to open up that interior, and that was a great read by Lawless, throwing that interior pass.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 1 after the 9-yard gain. Mustangs driving again. Lawless arcs one down the sideline for Beam. It's intercepted, picked off by number 11, who we do not have, DeMonte Lambert. Lambert brings it out of the end zone, gets back to about the 11-yard line. He really went a long way into the end zone before he turned around.
Yeah, he intercepted it about the 6 or 7-yard line. His momentum, he just looped around. I'm wondering if he'd been tackled, if it would have been a safety. Probably not. He probably would have spotted it where he caught it. But then once he turned up, he was able to get out to the 12-yard line. I'm not sure the receiver saw that pass.
No, because the Lambert broke to the inside. It was, I think they were looking to throw it more to the outside shoulder, and it was more to the inside, and he didn't see it. Handoff up the middle. They got some room there, and a flag comes in late from the back judge. It was Davis on the carry. That might be a face mask coming from there. It wasn't the umpire. So the tackle is made at the 26-yard line, so that was a gain of 14 there. And they're going to get another small chunk of yardage. Looks like a 5-yard face mask.
Yeah, I might have just touched it. A lot of times when you grab it, hold down, that's the personal foul. Just an interior sort of zone play. But what was interesting about it is that the offensive line was able to get up on Brooks, who's been all over the field, as always, for East Lincoln. That was able to spring them for that first down.
Turner takes a snap, hands off to Davis over the right side. Not much there. And another late flag. Several late flags come flying in. One of the Statesville players has lost his helmet. I have a feeling he had help.
Yeah, I saw it towards the end. He was downfield blocking and then was pushed. It looked like 91 for East Lincoln Loeffler. That might be an unsportsmanlike.
So the play netted maybe a yard, maybe not. So we've got a personal foul against the Mustangs. That'll be a 15-yard penalty, and that will be a Turner Hauser Insurance first down by penalty. So that gets the ball up to the 45-yard line.
Again, we talked about the size of Statesville's front line. What they're doing is running straight up. If they're unblocked, they're trying to get to the second level, and they're just running right behind that line.
Hand off to Davis again. He squirts through, gets across midfield before he's finally upended at about the 48-yard line. So steady diet of Davis here. Gain 7. And that size advantage starting to show. They just pushed the line back for East Lincoln a good 3-4 yards.
Yeah, they're not doing anything special up front. They're just going straight up.
Man in motion. Handoff again. Davis, he breaks a tackle. He's got open room. He's across the 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Statesville. And there's a penalty behind the play. Now, will that be after the play? Because it was a late flag. So on the play, it was a 48-yard touchdown run by Makion Davis. We'll wait and see what the flag is. So a conference by the officials at the 20. The touchdown is good. So Davis gets credit for a 48-yard touchdown that makes it 14-7 Statesville.
Man,
I imagine the penalty is going to be marked off on the kickoff. So we got a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct against Statesville. And they're going to push him back on the kickoff. So the touchdown is good.
It's an interesting call by Coach Lubowitz. I think they're moving him back now. Yeah, I would say without having a kicker, probably make more sense just to do it now. And so they, like I said, they don't go for
extra points that we know of. We have not seen any stats, but then again, we have not seen. I mean, if you look at their scores, it's like 6 or 12 or 18. So it suggests to me they don't have a kicker.
Yeah.
Come on, you got to raid your soccer team somehow, don't you?
Well, the one that's doing the punting, Owens, is out there, but looks like he's playing receiver.
And Raymond Gray was the one that kicked off to start the game. He's not even on the field, number 0. So 15-yard penalty against Statesville for the unsportsmanlike conduct means they have to go 17 yards for the extra. Turner keeps it, throws in the end zone, way over the head of his receiver. So that extra point conversion attempt, brought to you by James River Equipment, is no good. So on our First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, Statesville 14, East Lincoln 7. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
Silas Chambers.
Back at East Lincoln, Jalen Roseboro catches the kick by Raymond Gray. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 29-yard line, which is 24 seconds to go in the first quarter. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Quick pass, look from Lawless. He's in trouble. Look for a quick pass. There wasn't anything there, and next thing you know, here comes the Statesville defense.
Yeah, that's 75 Hagens that we mentioned earlier in the pregame. They tried to look like they were going to run like a tunnel screen out to the slot receiver and get behind the wide receivers to block, but Statesville read it. There was nowhere to go for Lawless.
And that will be the end of the first quarter. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week. It's Statesville 14-7 over East Lincoln.
Full Throttle Power Sports and Law is proud to announce the addition of Brian Lane to their sales staff. And Brian wants to take this time to invite his friends and former customers of Al Lane Motorsports in Lincoln to come see him at Full Throttle Power Sports and Law, featuring brand names like CF Moto, Yamaha, Honda, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Polaris, and more. See Brian Lane at Full Throttle Power Sports, 101 Indian Walk of I-85 in Law, online at ncfullthrottle.com.
Bennett Funeral Service is a proud supporter of Lincoln County Athletics, and we wish them a successful season. Bennett Funeral Service is family-owned and operated by Robbie and Rhonda Bennett, and they care about you and your family, featuring traditional funerals and cremation services. And yes, pre-planning transfers are accepted. For more information, call 828-465-2111. Visit their website at bennettfuneralservice.com. In your time of need, call upon Bennett Funeral Service, 7878 Highway 16 in Newton and 502 First Avenue South in Conover. We are here for you.
East Lincoln, start of the second quarter. Remember, Lincoln County football is brought to you by our title sponsor, Bug Busters of Lincolnton. So we start off the second quarter with an offside penalty on Statesville.
And obviously they get sort of a punishment when they do that in practice. He did 5 push-ups after he jumped offside.
Handoff to Nate Stevens, and the handoff almost went to, well, he made up for that. Gray just jumped offside, and now he blew through there and almost took the handoff with Nate Stevens. They all met together in the backfield.
That's one way to get motivated. Just making offside, doing offsides, do your push-ups, and then get after the running back on that one. Right? Great play there by Gray.
Loss of 5, so he gets the penalty back. Good job by Gray. So 3rd and 13 for the Mustangs. Lawless back, looks to be a screen pass. He flings it out of there, Fortunately, he had L.J. Forney nearby, so he won't get nailed for grounding. But they let the lineman in, looked like a screen, but then there was nobody to throw to. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, like I said, he didn't have much time. We got an injury for Statesville down. I can't tell who it is, but that was 0 for Statesville Gray with the pressure. But a great improvising play there by the quarterback just to get rid of it. Outside the tackle, got it to the line of scrimmage near an eligible receiver, so no grounding. But I can't see what who's down. If that's 75 for Statesville Hagans, he's made a couple big plays, including the sack that started this drive.
This is was quite the series for Raymond Gray, though. Offside penalty, do some push-ups, and then he just pushed around the East Lincoln offense.
I don't even know if he was touched on that play. He just blew right through.
No, he was still dressed out.
And that is 75.
He might have been rolled up on. He's kind of looking at the ankle. He's kind of testing it out.
Right straight in front of us with the black shirt on, it looked like.
Well, that was a tough series for East Lincoln. They needed to at least try to get some clock running and get some points on this drive, but sacked by Hagans to start, and then Gray, the last couple plays, was able to get into the backfield and disrupt things. And they're kind of moving him around a little bit to the interior. Gray for Statesville.
So Hampton Good will be on to punt for the Mustangs. Back is Davis, the running back. High snap, Good brings it down. Manages to get the kick off, and not a bad kick either. Takes an East Lincoln bounce inside the 40, all the way down to about the 31-yard line. Great job by Hampton Good to get that high snap and get the punt off without getting it blocked.
Yeah, I was able to put a pretty good leg into it. It had a spiral on it. You don't see that too often on those kicks that are quick. I was able to angle it away from the receiver, the back, and able to get a good roll out of it, get themselves a little bit out of the field position game all the way back to the 31.
He had a little bit of wind behind him, so that might have helped a bit. But at least it's not around midfield. We'll make him work a little bit. 3 wide receivers to the right side of the formation. East brings up runners late, or defenders late, but the run's way on the other side of the field. It's number 5, Davion Summers. He goes up the middle. Pretty good gain there on first down. Looks to be about 7 yards.
Yeah, Good made a good play there. Again, I think they're trying to get up to Brooks on the second level to stop him from disrupting and making some of those plays. They've done a good job getting on Brooks here the last couple series.
Same formation, same play, but this time Davis pops it outside. It's Summers. And he's brought down by Shropshire. Good open field tackle there. But it's going to be close to a first down. And it is a Turner Hauser Insurance first down for Statesville.
Yeah, again, just trying to watch the interior of the defensive line and offensive line for Statesville. They're trying to get one of those linemen up to Brooks. And they've been sort of successful, but it's good to see East Lincoln outside backers making some plays.
Summers in for Davis at this point, getting a bit of a breather. Not much there on that play. He goes up the middle. There's Marcel Johnson.
Oh, that's number 5. I'm sorry. Number 5.
So Summers again, they generously say he got back to the line of scrimmage. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I like the way that East Lincoln is also moving Johnson around from one end to the other.
Yeah, he was on the left last play. Now he's way over on the right end. Player in motion. There's both sides move. Question is who moved first. So a penalty marker down.
Lincoln, yeah.
And it's going to be offside against the Mustangs.
It started with the, I don't know if he's playing nose or if he's playing head up on the guard, but he right over the ball, and so I don't know how you jump outside when you're looking right at the ball.
It's not supposed to happen, but
No.
we see that it does. All right, Davis back in the backfield now.
I'll give it right back.
We might get back to some football here in a minute.
False start call goes against them.
We had a penalty marker on the play. False start call goes against the Greyhounds.
They were getting ready to run the Wildcat with number 2.
Well, East Lincoln has decided not to play a nose guard. They're basically playing two
down
5
linemen.
technique tackles with outside backers. I think that's why Statesville's able to get up to Brooks. We'll see if that's an adjustment.
Statesville taking a long time. Coming off a penalty, it's taking a while for them to get set and go with a play here.
Let's give them another 5 yards.
Again, the play clocks are not working here, so we don't know. And got delay of game by the back judge. So that is already the 6th penalty on Statesville.
We had a delay of game call go against the Greyhounds.
And right now, Statesville is their own worst enemy.
Yeah, like I said, not having the play clocks is kind of messing a little bit with Statesville. But you think they get the play in a little quicker now that because of that.
Yeah, coming off a penalty, they had a little extra time while it was marked off. And they can't seem to get lined up correctly. Now they are. Turner back, and we've got another flag down.
With a flag on the play.
And now it's just getting a little sloppy.
Yep, false start.
Call goes against the Greyhounds.
So
I don't
yet
know,
another
if
one.
that's a receiver. They basically act just like the defense in that position. They don't really care about the snap. They're looking at the ball, and when it's snapped, they go. So I don't know what Statesville's got going on now.
What they've got going on is how to count down by 5s. They've gone from the 48 to the 43 to the 38 to the 33.
Is that second
Next
and
up.
20?
Might be 20, 25. No, 20. That's right, because there was a penalty on East, and they took it out. And okay. Handoff to Davis up the middle. Marcel Johnson says hello.
Okay, by number 2, Matt Davis. He's brought down by number 0, Marcel Johnson.
We mentioned that they're moving Johnson around a little bit, so they must have seen something on that offensive line that they can attack. And Johnson's come up pretty big here. Well, trying to remember the play. Feels like it was 10 minutes ago. But he did make the play to bring up the second down, if I remember correctly.
So 3rd and 20, no gain on that play by Marcel Johnson. Turner back to pass. He throws over the middle. He had Owens, but he threw it too high. Also coming in behind was Makion Davis. So I'm not sure who that was really intended for, but it does fall incomplete, and it'll be 4th down for Statesville. East Lincoln finally gets the stop.
Well, like I say, at Owens being 6'5", I was imagining that was for him. I only one in the area to make that catch.
Brings up a 4th down for the Greyhounds.
Because now he's got to get back and punt.
Back to receive is Riley Shropshire for East Lincoln. Good snap. Close to being blocked. Gets the punt off. Statesville will down it at the 43-yard line. So a good rush there by Brooks. 55 is Brooks, right?
55, yes.
Yes, it is Brooks. He got a good rush in from the left side, got close to it.
Of course, now Statesville's kicking into the wind, so if you don't make good contact with it, it's going to get hung up. And so that was, what, a 20, was it even a 20-yard punt?
Yeah, probably about a 25-yard punt.
Yeah.
So 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 43. 7.5 to go in the first half. 14-7, they trail. Handoff to Stevens up the middle. He gets spun around, breaks the arm tackle, and gets out to the 48-yard line. So it looked like a lot more than just 5 yards on that play, but it is a gain for the Mustangs.
Yeah, number 2 got low and submarine to make that tackle. It looked like he might have got a stinger as he's coming up and grabbing his shoulder.
Handoff again to Stevens. He's taking the place of Daly. And he batters his way across midfield to the 46-yard line. It'll be a Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Mustangs.
They'll change of pace here for East Lincoln.
Stevens again. This time it looks like the ball's come loose. There's a scramble for it. And it looks like Statesville is going to come up with it. Another turnover by the Mustangs. This time Stevens coughs it up. And Statesville will be in business at their own 45-yard line.
I don't think he was hit. I looked like he never really had control of it when he got that handoff. Got past the line of scrimmage and then just dropped it.
So Statesville takes over. 1st and 10 at their own 45. East had just crossed midfield. We've still got 6:45 to go. Been a slow-moving second quarter because of all the penalties. Pitch out to Davis. He gets across midfield. He gets down to the 46-yard line. So another good run by Davis. Gets it to, gets a gain of 8 on first down.
Yeah, Loeffler and Brooks with the tackle on that one. Had a bunch of blockers out in front, but East Lincoln was able to get in there and at least stop it from getting the first down, but after a 9-yard gain.
Turner hands off to Davis. He follows his lineman. That'll be enough for a Turner Hauser Insurance first down. He gets across the 45 to about the 43-yard line.
Okay, by number 2, Matt Davis. He's brought down by number 7, Hampton Good.
So
Johnson's coming out. Look like he's
might be winded.
Oh, it might be his shoulder or a finger. Oh, he's holding his arm there. Holding his hand.
Yep. Got it caught in a face mask. I mean, all kinds of ways you can get your hand caught. 1st and 10, up the middle. Carry by number 9, looked to be Tyreek Carter. Yet another player getting a carry for Statesville. They do spread it around. Davis is their big carrier, but they've spread it around to some other people trying to keep Davis fresh.
Yeah, earlier in the game, they let the quarterback run a couple of those sneaks to get some yards. As you mentioned, yeah, spreading the ball out pretty well. Trying to attack the interior of the defensive line for the Mustangs. And with Johnson out, it might be a good idea for the moment. Keep up that strategy.
Yeah, he's sitting on the bench down here below us. Trainer's looking at his hand. Turner takes a snap, nobody there. He went to hand it off, so he keeps it, goes up the middle. Busted play there as Summers took off to the left, and Turner turned, and there was nobody to hand off to.
Yeah, it might be a timeout. I wonder if they're just maybe missing the signals, so they're going to call a timeout here and maybe try to figure out what went wrong on that play. Might be a good time after some of the penalties and some of the things that they're doing here with 4:46 to go. 3rd and 4, is that what we have?
That's what it appears to be. That ball on the 39, closer to the 38, but yeah, 4 yards to go.
And Johnson seems to be in a little bit of pain. I don't know.
He's shaking his hand like he has no feeling in it, or
Yeah.
he's trying, or you get a finger dislocated and they pop it back in place and you're just trying to get the pain out. I've
tape
been in
those up
that
to a couple
situation.
of them. Yeah.
I had a pinky that went off at a 45-degree angle.
I did that with my thumb when I was playing. Yeah, I got down and put my thumb, and it kind of came back and was at my wrist. That did not feel good.
They're not supposed to go that way. No. So 3rd and 4, Statesville trying to put another one in here before halftime. Quick shuttle pass goes to Davin Clark. Clark is going to go around the left side, but it looks like he's going to be about a yard short of the first down.
That was a fantastic tackle by Shropshire. He just shot through there when they were trying to run that little toss behind the line of 3 receivers to that side.
That does count as a
Shropshire
pass.
came flying through there. What a great tackle.
He did. Handoff up the middle. Davis burrows behind that big line. He's going to have the first down, despite the best efforts of number 53, Jalen Abernathy. He sliced in there but couldn't get to the ball carrier. So another first down for Statesville. Now they have the ball at 32.
Yeah.
32, so gain of 6 on that one. That was the 11th carry of the half already for Davis. Quick pitch to Davis. He's got room over on the right side. Breaks through first tackle. Then he's brought down by Brooks. But he gets down to the 24-yard line. Another good gain. That'll be about another 8 yards on that play.
Notice from Statesville, yeah, they're just either attacking that interior of the defense of the Mustangs or trying to get behind some of the receivers when they run their little toss plays. Just kind of let them go out there almost like a zone, and when they see a hole, they hit it.
Yeah, because he had a lot of space, and then he just cut it back up, went through a couple defenders. 2nd and 2. Turner takes the snap, looks to throw. Now he's going to pull it down and run with it, and he's got a lot of size and mobility. Hops over a defender, finally gets upended, but not before he gets a Turner Hauser Insurance first down at the 18-yard line after a gain of 6.
It almost looked like another sort of busted play. Looked like he wanted to throw it quicker out to the left and then just kind of ran out there, kind of scrambled out. Number 3 for Statesville, Sherrill, looked like he thought he was open running towards the post, but he was going to his left. That's a hard throw for a quarterback, right-handed quarterback, to move left and throw back to your right. He made a smart play just by tucking it and getting the first down.
He might have been looking shorter, and there was an East Lincoln defender about to jump up in front of him. Quick toss to Davis. He goes around the right side, cuts back to the center. He'll have a gain down to the 11-yard line. So again, he finds some space, squirts forward, gets 7 yards.
Yeah, like as we mentioned, their offensive line is just, if there's a head on a hat, they're going to take them right down in there on the defensive line. And if they can get up to Brooks into that middle of the interior of the defensive Mustangs, that's what they're doing. And then letting running backs just pick a hole.
2 minutes to go in the first half. Davis takes the ball. He's going to be inside the 10-yard line, close to a first down.
Looks like he fumbled it.
Now he may have fumbled. East Lincoln saying they have it. No signal from the officials. And here's signaling second down or first down. So they're saying he was down before the ball came loose. So he gains a couple on that play. So 3rd and 1. Quick throw.
Oh, wow.
And they're going to call interference on that one?
I think the ball was in the air, so it has to be interference.
Yeah,
but it looked like Stevens hit the quarterback, and
Stevens was all over the quarterback when he threw that. He got it away, but there's a flag down in the end zone.
Pass interference.
It will be pass interference, so it fell incomplete, but the penalty will give Statesville a first down.
I think Stevens was a little surprised how big the quarterback was. He was trying to break it up, and look, he hit a wall and just fell flat on his back.
First and goal for the 5 for the Greyhounds. Hand off to Davis. Burrows behind the line. He gets close, but he's going to be short. His 15th carry of the half. I'm trying to add up what he's got so far at this point.
53 Abernathy stopped him from scoring, but they're, about on maybe the half-yard line. Timeout East Lincoln.
And timeout East Lincoln. As there is a breeze tonight.
1:02 to go, 14-7 Statesville. 2nd and goal from about the 1.
And this would be a really big score because Statesville deferred. They're going to get the ball to start the second half. you could get up a second score here and then get the ball right back and maybe put this game away early in the second half. And Davis, I've just added it up quickly. He's got 15 carries for 131 yards already.
Wow.
I mean, yes, he had a 48-yard run in there, but a lot of other good runs. 8, 7, 8, 7, 14, 6, 13. He's really gashed the East Lincoln defense pretty regularly.
Yeah, like I said, they're not doing anything special up front. They're just using their size, and they're putting hats to hats, trying to get up into the interior, the second level of the Mustangs, and it's been successful, as you mentioned, on those runs.
So 2nd and goal for the Greyhounds at the 1-yard line. 1:02 to go in the first half. Up 14-7 and looking for more. Davis in the Wildcat. Nope, handoff to Davis. Referee comes in from the side and says he is short. Good play there by East Lincoln to submarine the pile. Marcel Johnson got in there to disrupt things. So no gain for Davis. Clock's running, 40 seconds, but 3rd and goal.
Yeah, like a tight end, and they've got pretty much a slot, almost fullback, Zero Gray.
This time it's just Turner. He'll burrow behind the line. Again, waiting on a signal. Side judge comes in.
I think we got an injury. They're calling for the side.
And he's short again.
Is that Brooks or Abernathy? I can see Abernathy. That might be Brooks.
He's holding an ankle, it looks like. You get that goal line, and there's just bodies and legs and arms and people being twisted. All kinds of things can happen to lower legs and ankles.
Yeah, we mentioned the size of the offensive line, but I don't know how low they can get. And right now, the defensive line of the Mustangs are lower, and they're getting their submarine in. And I'm surprised they don't go maybe up and over or attack a little bit more of the behind the tackles. That's not Brooks. Brooks is over here walking to the huddle now.
Take a look to see who it is here. Starts with a 5. It's number 58, and that is Evan Mateel. And if I remember correctly, that is the AD's son, correct?
He's come on here to substitute. Yeah, he kind of did that last week, came in some key positions. Had made a tackle. I had him down for a tackle before that last play. He's not putting weight on that left leg. I don't know if he got rolled up on.
Who knows in those piles.
A gaggle of players in there.
A big situation here, though. 21 seconds, we're ready to go again. 21 seconds left. 4th and goal from the 1-yard line for Statesville. East could really use a stop here. Handoff, and this time they're going to get in the end zone. It was Raymond Gray, number 0. He goes into the line and then cuts it to the outside, and he scores. And that puts Statesville up 20-7 after the Whitetail Properties touchdown. Whitetail Properties of Falston.
Yeah, he was looking to, again, go up at middle, but wisely bounced it outside the tackle and was able to just get across the line. But give the Mustangs a little bit of credit there. They forced 4 plays.
Handoff again in the backfield. This attempt is going nowhere. Loss on the play. Hampton Good blows in there and blows up the extra point, 2-point conversion attempt. Those are brought to you by James River Equipment. We're going to keep it here. So right now on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, it is 20-7 Statesville. Just 13 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, sort of a strange game. It looks like each team's offense really has been their own worst enemy. There's been obviously some good plays.
2 turnovers by East, and they have both turned into touchdowns.
Yes. Yeah,
and that is the margin.
That's the difference. I mean, because other than that, Statesville's not really doing anything special other than just, again, those zone runs. Running backs are doing a good job seeing holes and cutting it up.
It doesn't hurt that the East Lincoln linemen are looking across at what seems like the Great Wall of China, too.
Yeah, and again, you got Johnson on the sideline here, one of the key defensive linemen for the Mustangs. Looks like he's obviously with the half only 13 seconds away.
But he does not have his helmet in his hand either. So Gray with a kick, fielded at the 25-yard line. It was Jackson Beam, and we've got a penalty marker back at the 29-yard line. So 5 seconds to go. We'll have to see what this penalty is. Does East try something here? Because you're not going to get the ball to start the second half. Do they just fling one down the field and see what happens?
At one timeout, I didn't think you just take a knee and regroup, but now after the penalty, they're going back to the 19-yard line.
Yeah, so that was probably a 10-yard holding call against East Lincoln on the return. Only their 4th penalty of the game. Better than we have seen in previous games. They do tend to rack up some penalties. Statesville stepping into that role tonight.
Well, we'll see what they do.
So 1st and 10 at the 19. And only 5 seconds to work with. And Lawless just takes a knee, and that'll be it for the first half. So on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, at the end of the first half, it's Statesville 20, East Lincoln 7. We'll be back with the stadium halftime show after this commercial messages. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Where you get your tag does make a difference. At the North Carolina DMV Tag Office in Lincoln, they want to make sure your tag purchase experience is a pleasant one. They're located at 2683 Main Street in Lincoln, in the Carolina Shopping Center. It's big and spacious, and they have plenty of attendants to help serve you. They want to get you in and out as fast as possible. The North Carolina DMV Tag Office at 2683 East Main Street in the Carolina Shopping Center, Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
Attention home buyers. Call Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control before purchasing your new home to avoid getting stuck with extensive damage, typically not covered by homeowners insurance. Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control will inspect your home for prior or present wood-destroying insects and moisture. Call Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control today to schedule your free estimate at 1-800-7-THE-WEB and receive $25 off any new service from Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control. Since 1919, Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Lincoln County and surrounding area. And today they continue to serve this area and beyond with quality fuels and outstanding service. In addition to fuel oil, they also carry all kinds of lubricants, from hydraulic fluid to automatic transmission fluid to farm lubricants, plus diesel fuel, home heating oil, and kerosene. That's Rhodes and Bill Oil Company, 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Call 704-735-2508 and online at NesbittOil.com. Triad Corrugated Metal in Lincoln is this area's headquarters for premium metal roofing and supplies. And now just arrived square tubing for metal carports and metal buildings. Give them a call at 980-429-2278 for pricing and sizes. And they have a wide variety of colors. Visit the website at triadcorrugatedmetal.com. And like them on Facebook too, Triad Corrugated Metal, 108 Industrial Park Road in Lincoln. Take your pick on a brand new Bobcat mower from Weston Sales in Vail. Pick 0% APR financing for 60 months or get an $800 instant rebate. You just take your pick and pick out your new Bobcat mower. Take a look at a Bobcat ZT2000, $500 instant cash rebate. A Bobcat ZT3000, $700 instant cash rebate. Or the Bobcat ZT3500 with an $800 instant rebate. See them today at Weston Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail. Online at westonsales.com. Like them on Facebook too.
Halftime show brought to you by Unrivaled Metal Buildings of Lincolnton. And taking a look at the stats, it is all Statesville at this point. Taking a look at them offensively, 28 carries, 164 yards. Of course, most of that from Mac Davis, number 2, 16 carries, 131 yards, so 164 as a team. Only 2 of 3 passing, which is kind of surprising because when you look at a lot of their highlights and you look at the stats we could find for them, they were passing for more yards than they were running. They have 8 yards passing, so 172 yards offense is all.
Yeah, the key obviously is they've held on to the ball. When we get to talking about East Lincoln, they've turned the ball over, and so that's why they don't have really that many yards. They just had some short fields and were able to capitalize on the miscues by the East Lincoln Mustangs.
And offensively for East Lincoln, of course, the big story is first play of the game. Their big workhorse back, Chris Daly, goes down with an injury. He's sitting on the bench. He doesn't look like he's going to be returning at all tonight. Marcel Johnson's now on the bench. He had a big carry for him. He's now sitting, was shaking his hand. Let's see, Evan Mateel with an injury. So that explains some of the offensive numbers for East Lincoln. 13 carries, 39 yards, barely averaging 3. 3 of 5 passing for 61. There was the one long pass to Shropshire. But that's been about it offensively. And as you mentioned, Statesville's hanging on to the ball. East Lincoln isn't. 2 fumbles lost and an interception, all 3 leading to touchdowns. And that's the score of the halftime, 20-7.
Yeah, as we mentioned, that the first quarter was not a bad played quarter overall, but then the penalties kind of started in the second quarter for both sides. And nobody's really been able to get momentum until there's been the turnovers from East Lincoln. And then Statesville has just been able to, again, keep control of the ball. Like I said, they're not doing anything special other than just going straight at East Lincoln Mustangs. They must have, again, looked at that film from Hickory and then looked at that second half when Lackey was running pretty much right at him out of the Wildcat. But that, maybe why they didn't throw it, but...
and they haven't needed to.
Yeah, they're getting all their yardage with, as you mentioned there, from Mac Davis. So it's been an interesting sort of half and something that we usually don't see from East Lincoln. And that, we're usually talking about the defense not being able to stop anybody, but it's been the offense that's been kind of hurting them. And obviously you said, the injury to Daly is a big loss for them on that side of the ball.
And speaking of penalties, you've got 7 penalties against Statesville for 44 yards. 4 penalties against East Lincoln, which is a bit lower than usual. They tend to run double-digit penalties, but they've got 35 yards. So almost fewer penalties, but they had a couple big ones, a holding call and then an unsportsmanlike conduct, and also an unsportsmanlike conduct on Statesville early in the half there. So East Lincoln band is now out on the field. They look like they're wearing something radioactive on their uniform.
The lights are going to go out here, and they're going to kind of glow in the dark, I'm wondering.
It is some bright green trim that they have on their black uniforms, so it'll be interesting to see what they do here. So we'll take another timeout here. You're listening to the Stadium Halftime Show, brought to you by Unrivaled Metal Buildings of Lincolnton. Score is Statesville 20, East Lincoln 7. We'll be back with more on the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flipped through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their many floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. First Federal Savings Bank. They've been serving Lincoln County and the surrounding counties since 1940. If you're looking to build your dream home, purchase a new home, or buy land, they have the products and services for you. At First Federal Savings Bank, they want to get to know you by name and build a relationship for generations to come. Give them a call at 704-735-0416 or visit the website at ffsb-nc.com. Member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Who are you going to call? Bug Busters. Since 1998, Bug Busters has been serving North and South Carolina with the very best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned, Bug Busters is there for your pest control, crawl space, encapsulation, termites, wildlife, structural repair, and waterproofing. Just call 704-732-2227 or visit their website at bugbusters.com. Like them on Facebook too. Bug Busters Pest Control and Home Improvement, 2863 Highway 27 East in Lincoln. Who you going to call? Bug Busters.
Plan now to attend this year's Cleveland County Fair, September 28th through October 8th. 11 big days of fun for the entire family. Entertainment includes Act Monsters Chainsaw Art, The Circus Incredible with high-flying aerial artists, The Electrifying Magic, starring Jay Matoli from America's Got Talent, and Showtime at the Apollo, and Hog Diggity Dog, the very best animal act ever, and Nashville recording artist John Morris, along with 40 ride-hopper rides, games, food stands, and more. The Cleveland County Fair, September 28th through October 8th, online at clevelandcountyfair.com.
Drivers, start your engines!
Start your engine of savings at Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Race on in now during the Campers Inn 500. Over 500 units have been discounted for year-end savings. It's the best time of the year to buy. Don't make a pit stop elsewhere. Head to the finish line of savings at Campers Inn in Kings Mountain during the Campers Inn 500. Campers Inn, 615 South Broadway off Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. Online at campersinn.kingsmountain.com. Like them on Facebook too. There's some big deals going on now at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Save big, and we mean big, on 4 remaining 2023 Buick Encore GXs. Plus, take $3,000 off any remaining 2023 Buick Enclave. And remaining 2023 Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra trucks are $1,500 off. Yes, these prices are red hot at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC, 1445 East Main Street, Lincoln. Online at abernathychevrolet.com.
10 miles from here, Hickory, winner last week, is taking on North Lincoln. And we don't have a score on that, but we know that's an important game for North Lincoln and for the rest of the conference, because otherwise you've got Hickory at 2-0. They've beaten 2 of the better 3 teams they'll face in the conference. The only one they'd have left that might be able to stay with them would be Statesville. So
yeah, I'm going to try to bring up here what we got. East Lincoln is at West Iredell next week. That was another team that came in 1-0 in the conference.
And they're going to be better this year. I mean, I don't think they're still on the level as the other 4 teams, but they're getting closer. Nick Basil, the coach at North Lincoln, his son took over at West Iredell, and they have been improving late last year and early this year.
Well, I mean, 1-0 in the conference, 4-0 overall. I mean, 151 points for, 55 points again. So, I mean, we mentioned East Lincoln. You know, we'll see how they adjust here in the second half. I think maybe they're a little bit in shock with some of those injuries, and we're never able really to get on track.
Yeah,
after Daly, first play of the game.
Yeah, that's a big blow right there. It really is. Your workhorse back, 1,700 yards last year, almost 500 this year, and then all of a sudden he's clutching his leg on the ground.
I thought they came in with a good adjustment. Yeah, you mentioned Ed Johnson, who scored the touchdown, came in, more of that, as you mentioned, a workhorse fullback type of runner with Stevens on the other side. But then, again, you got Johnson going both ways, but, you also got Stevens going both ways. So, we're going to wonder to see how they come out in the second half. But we know that Statesville is going to start with the ball in the second half after deferring. We'll see if they can go back-to-back after finishing that first half with the score. Be interesting to see.
So we still have a couple minutes to, excuse me, goodness. Still have a couple minutes to go in halftime festivities here. The East Lincoln Band on the field in their black and radioactive green uniforms. There's a logo on the front, kind of looks like a radioactive kind of thing too. So we'll take another short time out here, and we'll be back with more on the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Full Throttle Power Sports and Law is proud to announce the addition of Brian Lane to their sales staff. and Brian wants to take this time to invite his friends and former customers of Al Lane Motorsports in Lincoln to come see him at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell, featuring brand names like CF Moto, Yamaha, Honda, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Polaris, and more. See Brian Lane at Full Throttle Power Sports, 101 Indian Walk of I-85 in Lowell, online at ncfullthrottle.com.
Bennett Funeral Service is a proud supporter of Lincoln County Athletics, and we wish them a successful season. Bennett Funeral Service is family-owned and operated by Robbie and Rhonda Bennett, and they care about you and your family, featuring traditional funerals and cremation services. And yes, pre-planning transfers are accepted. For more information, call 828-465-2111. Visit their website at bennettfuneralservice.com. In your time of need, call upon Bennett Funeral Service, 7878 Highway 16 in Newton and 502 First Avenue South in Conover. We are here for you.
Back here at East Lincoln, we're efforting to get some scores here from around the area. Kevin Hastings is a little bit under the weather, and he's normally really good about feeding them to us. So we hope he's feeling better. Hurry back, Kevin. We're trying to find some of the scores around the area here. And we're not doing too good.
Yeah, like I said, we're looking on X, the old Twitter.
Oh, yeah, the old Twitter, yes.
Well, I've got a score here, Crest 14, Kramer nothing. That was in the first quarter, so that's obviously a little old. That was 36 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm trying to find.
Yeah, because it's now 21-0 Crest.
The only problem with Max Preps is as soon as you go to North Carolina to try and get scores, you always seem to get the east end of the state first. And, they're all mixed together, and you're trying to find this, that, and the other.
Well, you mentioned Shelby and Cherryville. They're already almost about over. It's 56-0.
Shelby's playing Cherryville?
Oh, that might have been from last week.
That's last week.
I'm on a little delay.
Because Cherryville's playing East Gaston tonight.
Gaston, right.
A lot of games in progress. Surprisingly, one's over on the east side of the state. I thought the weather was supposed to be an issue, but it doesn't seem to be stopping them out there. And you really have to scroll down a long way to get any of the teams that are more local here. Max Peps has a bias. No. Mooresville leads Hickory Ridge. How are these games in the fourth quarter already?
Are you on last week as well, or?
I don't think so. I'll be able to tell you in a minute when I see a score that actually means something here. Like I said, I've got to scroll down. Yeah, Lincolnton's playing Newton Conover, right? That sounds right.
That's right.
That's what I've got. So it's 8-7. Newton Conover. That's at halftime. Best we have there. East Lincoln trailing 20-7. East Gaston leading Cherryville 35-14.
Well,
that's a pretty good showing for Cherryville. Again, East Gaston has played a couple of teams I'd never heard of before this year. Corvian, and there was somebody else. So you wonder if they've really played anybody any good. Eventually they may get exposed. North Iredale leads St. Stephen's 13-0 in the second quarter. Ashbrook and Forest View tied at 13 at halftime. West Iredale leads Fred T. Ford 21-0 at halftime. Hickory leads North Lincoln in the third quarter 23-7. So Hickory really going to put themselves in the driver's seat at 2-0 and having beat North and East. Bandy's taking care of East Burke 35-6. Bandy's has been one of the big surprises. We thought they'd be good, but they're really good this year. They only lost to West Lincoln last week.
And we'll be at Bandy's in Lincolnton next week.
And there's some stories from that game last year to tell. I did that game at Bandy's last year. And at halftime, West Lincoln and Maiden tied at 13. So West Lincoln really come. So right as time expired, they said Maiden scored to tie it up. So West Lincoln appears to have been dominating in that particular one. So that's all we have at the moment. We're getting ready for the second half kickoff here. So Braden Kendall will kick off, and he'll have the wind at his back. And the wind has already played havoc. Blew the ball off the tee, so now player will come to hold it, and Kendall will kick off. Back is Mac Davis and Tyreek Carter, it looks like. Kendall drills this one, and that's going to go into the end zone for a touchback.
A little bit of a helping breeze on that.
Take every bit we can get.
Brady Kendall's kickoff will go into the end zone. It'll be first and 10 Greyhounds from their own 20.
You always hope the wind is at your back when you're teeing off. Does not seem to be the case at Lincoln.
It's an old Irish proverb, is it not? The wind always be at your back. Looks like Johnson is out there for East Lincoln. That's a good sign. He was the one that hurt his hand in the first half.
Mateel will be also back in the game, we're told. So first and 10, handoff up the middle as they did a lot of the first half, just trying to push that East Lincoln defensive line around. Another carry by Mac Davis.
And another tackle by Raiden Brooks.
Well, the more things change, the more they stay the same. But just a 2-yard gain. So to be 2nd and 8 at the 22. Turner takes a snap, hands off to Davis. He's corralled in the backfield, spins away, but then the rest of the Mustang defense shows up, and he'll be dropped for a loss. They're very generously giving him forward progress to the 18. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, they gave him a generous spot back up to there, but Abernathy came in and with a bunch of other Mustangs was able to just kind of swing him down by his jersey. So it looks like East Lincoln is a little bit motivated. Maybe there might have been a pretty good speech from Coach Lubowitz at the half.
He is a former defensive coordinator, so I'm sure the defensive play wasn't thrilling to him. Turner back to pass, slings one down the field. He's got a receiver. Catch is made at midfield. He's open. He's going to go all the way down the field. It's A.J. Sherrill. There's a bit of a collision between the East Lincoln defenders after the catch, and he goes all the way into the end zone. That'll be an 82-yard touchdown pass. Turner to Sherrill.
That was just a straight in pattern. He went down about 20 yards, broke it to the inside. Not sure what the East Lincoln Mustangs were looking at on that particular play.
And he had his defender beat, and then as he came back towards the right sideline, the two defenders ran into each other, and he had clear sailing all the way to the end zone. So another Whitetail Properties touchdown for Statesville.
And that was a fantastic throw into the breeze from Turner there. We saw he had a pretty good arm.
Handoff up the middle. The two-point conversion is good. So with 10:37 to go in the first half, or early in the third quarter, I'll get it right. It's 28-7 Statesville. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
It's the all-new Nissan of Shelby, where they do the right thing. First time, every time. Nissan of Shelby now has new management, plus a big new inventory with new prices, giving you a whole new customer experience. Check their amazing lineup, Nissan Rogues and Muranos, and trucks like the Nissan Frontier and Titan, plus a wide range of pre-owned vehicles with special rates and pricing. Come to the all-new Nissan of Shelby, 631 South Post Road, right off Highway 74 East in Shelby. Online at nissanofshelby.com.
Folks, if you are looking to buy a new metal building, let me tell you the place to go. Unrivaled Metal Buildings in Lincolnton. With over 20 years experience, they specialize in metal carports, garages, RV covers, storage sheds, and more. They offer bank financing and a credit-free rent-to-own program. All of their units are engineered certified to meet local wind and snow requirements. Commercial sizes are available as well. Address is 2541 East Main Street, Lincolnton, or call 844-848-8676. Also, check their website out at unrivalledmetalbuildings.com.
Short kick caught by Austin Dobler, and then Gray goes down and makes the tackle. So 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their 33, now trailing by 3 touchdowns. Lawless back to pass, throws over the middle. His receiver kept going up. Forney. Lawless was looking for him to break it into some open space more towards the sideline.
Yeah, I don't know if he was supposed to break in or just turn around and stop, but yeah, that was definitely miscommunication between the receiver and the quarterback. Of course, there was also 2 Statesville players in the vicinity.
Yeah, they were both to the center of the field, so the opening was towards the outside, the other shoulder. So 2nd and 10 from their 33. And we're going to have some movement here. And the penalty goes against East Lincoln, legal procedure.
I don't know. The receivers are looking to the side, asking if they're either on the line of scrimmage or off, and I'm wondering if maybe a little miscommunication with the side judge.
So we've got receivers on either end, 2 slot receivers to the left. Lawless quick pass out, looks like a receiver screen. Catch is made, breaking into territory there is Jackson Beam. Beam gets stood up at the 45-yard line of the Greyhounds. A nice play there. Finally got that.
I'm wondering if it's a block in the back.
Goodness.
Down by number 6, Noah Owens.
Yep, good call there, Scott, blocking the back.
Yeah, it's basically just what they call a wide receiver screen or a tunnel screen, and the receiver for East Lincoln broke back after the catch was made, and it was obvious to me. If it's obvious to me up here, then side judge was an easy call for him.
So where did the flag go down? Because they've got it marked all the way back to the 23-yard line. So that's a 15-yard penalty there for the Mustangs.
The ball back to the Mustang 23-yard line. It's going to bring up a 2nd down for the Mustangs.
So 2nd and. So 2nd down. It looks like it's going to be about 21 yards. And we've got yet another case where an official comes running in from the sideline.
I wonder if they got the yardage correct here. I don't think anybody called a timeout, did they?
I have not seen a signal for it.
You're right, they didn't call it.
If it's a spot foul, it should have been pretty close to the line of scrimmage, I would have thought.
Well, they still got it marked at the 23-yard line, so they think they have it correct.
Start
so
the
now
clock.
The clock's going. Both teams have to hustle onto the field. Again, East Lincoln trailing by three touchdowns, 28-7. Not the opening section of the 3rd quarter they really wanted. Lawless, back to pass, looks, quick out pattern. He's got a receiver wide open. It's Shropshire. He makes some moves, gets back towards the center of the field, works his way forward to about the 36-yard line. So that'll be a gain of 13 on that pass, and that one will stand.
Lawless' pass was complete. Number 5, Riley Shropshire. Brought down by number 4, Justine Gallimore. Pick up 13, brings up the 30.
Yeah, I don't know if Statesville, is running a zone or not, but he's wide open in the flat. And then use his athleticism to pick up the first down. Oh, well, make it third manageable.
Yeah, 3rd and 7. Pass is complete. Out to Shropshire again. And he gets across the 50-yard line, and this time it will be good for a first down. Another Turner Hauser Insurance first down. And that looked to be a gain of about 10 on that play. So pitch and catch between Lawless and Shropshire, and they get 23 yards and get the penalty yardage for a first down. Now the wide receivers screen again to Beam. He's got some blocking in front. Everybody has hit people on the numbers and not where the names are. So I think we'll see a lot more throwing here.
Yeah, they got to get themselves back in the ball game, and they've seen something with these wide receiver screens, and the cornerbacks are playing about 10 yards off, and they're backing off a little bit, so a lot of room out in the flat. And now timeout Statesville.
Statesville is not liking what they see, so we'll take a quick timeout here. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Start up the savings on your auto insurance with a stop at Turner Hauser Insurance Group in downtown Lincoln, your area insurance agency. Jamie Hauser invites you to stop in and find out how you can save money on all of your insurance needs, from home to auto to commercial to farm to life. Visit them at their office at 228 East Main Street, downtown Lincoln. Just look for the big blue awning. That's Turner Hauser Insurance Group, your area insurance agency. Call 704-732-9577 or visit the website at turnerhauserins.com. Ram Power Days are underway now at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lincoln. It's prime time for exclusive deals. Power Days are here. Now get $1,500 bonus cash on all new 2023 Ram 2500 and 3500 models. But that's not all. Get $4,000 consumer cash on most new 2023 Ram 1500 models. Don't miss Ram Power Days. Underway now at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1442 East Main Street in Lincoln.
East Lincoln, second down handoff to Nate Stevens, goes up the middle, no gain as he's wrapped up.
Yeah, one of those lineman Flowers just got through and just wrapped him up. He was able to go nowhere.
And now we've got another penalty marker. Again, it's from one of the side judges. And another procedure call against East Lincoln. I'm not sure why they keep getting all of these. We can't tell who they're calling it on. But it's before the snap.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I say, they're trying to get the play from the coaches, but then the side judges are just, as soon as they move, they're just blowing the whistle.
Lawless, quick out pattern. He's got Shropshire again. He makes the catch. And he's immediately hit. And we've got a flag on the near sideline. You got Roseboro and Beam were blocking, and the blocking went into the bench, so I'm not sure who it's going to be on. Statesville player is pointing that it's on East Lincoln. Statesville player also jawing a bit with some of the players on the East Lincoln sideline.
Like I said, we mentioned that the corners are starting 8 to 10 yards off the receivers, and then when on the snap, they're backing up, so there's plenty of room, but a dead ball foul looks like it might be on both teams.
Yeah, I mean, they were both going at each other. I mean, there were two players from each team. Who knows who they were called on. So you've got offsetting penalties there. So the play will stand. Shropshire makes the catch, gets down to the 34-yard line, gain of 7. After all of that.
Yeah, he's just, again, only having 7 yards. Like you said, the corners are off, 8, backing up on the snap. So another Turner Hauser first down there by the East Lincoln Mustangs.
Lawless back, lofts a pass down the sideline. He's got a receiver down there. A lot of bumping from behind by the Statesville defender. Pass is intended for
Is that good?
Shropshire. I don't think it's good, but we've got a player down behind the play here for East Lincoln. And that tentatively has been identified as number 53, Jalen Abernathy.
Yeah, he's made some good plays for East Lincoln on the defensive side of the ball. That could be a big loss. But he's up.
And he's going off without any limp. Rather, it's 52. Era Vaughn.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting play call there. Again, the corners are just backing off, trying to stop anything over the top. But again, we got the wind at your back. Might as well take a shot down there. Try to get a quick score. They got to get back in this ball game with 6:54 to go here in the third quarter.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. They're at the Greyhound 34. Not too many teams are the Greyhounds. It's
not many. Not many.
That's not a name you see around the country very much. So again, 3 wide receivers. That has been the normal set for East Lincoln. They're out to the left side. Jackson Beam in the middle. Again, that's how they've been setting up the wide receiver screen. Wallace rolls out, looks, throws one short. He's got L.J. Forney makes the catch. Forney gets to the sideline. It's knocked out of bounds. And he gets down to the 21-yard line. And that'll be a 13-yard play to Forney.
Yeah, Jackson Beam has to be careful there. I don't know if he was called on that block in the back earlier in this drive, but he did kind of peel back and come back towards the line. Sometimes they call that one of the crack blockers, whatever they want to call it, but he just got in the way, was able to keep him on the outside.
Lawless, another quick throw. He's got a reception. It's Beam. Beam makes a catch, drags the pile forward. He keeps going down to the 5-yard line. He got 9 yards after contact on that one, and he had at least 3 Greyhounds draped all over him.
It kind of looks like some of those quarterback sneaks where they get the guy behind them and they just push that quarterback in for either a touchdown or a first down. Of course, that time it was down the field. Jackson Beam, great little in route, in pattern, great throw from Wallace on that one.
16 yards on that, 1st and goal at the 5. East Lincoln knocking on the door, handoff to Marcel Johnson. He goes up the middle, gets across the 5, but not much more. Maybe a gain of 1 on that play. Johnson just kind of giving another look. They've been throwing. Matt Beam trying to show something a little different here.
Well, we mentioned with the size of some of the defensive linemen for the Greyhounds, it's in the interior, so tough to run.
Wallace, quick pass on a slant. He's got Beam. Catch is made. Touchdown, East Lincoln. So a quick slant pattern to Jackson Beam for the 5-yard score, and East Lincoln gets a Whitetail Properties touchdown with a James River Equipment PAT coming up.
Yeah, just a quick little in slant pattern from Beam, right on the money from Lawless. Great throw, great catch.
So Kendall is on to kick. He's been perfect here the last couple weeks. Jackson Beam will hold. Snap, hold, kick, and it's pounded through. So the extra point is good. And with 5:40 to go in the third quarter, it's Statesville 28, East Lincoln 14. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week. And somebody just got a...
Drivers, start your engines!
Start your engine of savings at Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Race on in now during the Campers Inn 500. Over 500 units have been discounted for year-end savings. It's the best time of the year to buy. Don't make a pit stop elsewhere. Head to the finish line of savings at Campers Inn in Kings Mountain during the Campers Inn 500. Campers Inn, 615 South Broadway off Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. Online at campersin.kingsmountain.com. Like them on Facebook too.
Hey, I'm Joey Logano, and if you're looking for affordable quality equipment, James River delivers.
Whether you're mowing your lawn, hauling material, or baling hay, James River has the John Deere mowers, tractors, Gator utility vehicles, and implements you need to get it done fast. Plus, with low-rate financing and big cash rebates, James River makes owning a John Deere just as easy as it is to operate. Request a quote online at jamesriverequipment.com.
James River delivers affordable quality.
Back at East Lincoln, Kendall forced to kick off from the 25, from his 25 after the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Mustangs, and the kick goes out of bounds. Even with the wind behind his back, it was tough to get it well down the field.
Might not be a bad play if he did it on purpose, because they're going to get the ball at the, 40, 35, 40? No chance of a return unless it goes out before that. They might mark it.
Yeah, it might be where it goes out if it doesn't get to the 35, which that's a pretty good kick from the 25.
Yeah.
It may not have.
Well, I don't know if they have the option to let him re-kick.
Yep, they do.
It was on the 25-yard line. Now they'll be kicking from the 20. It's like you do after a safety.
You can't get yourself back in the game and make those undisciplined penalties. And we've seen it a few times with East Lincoln up at Forest View and second half a little bit against Hickory last week.
So they've put the ball down at the 20. Kendall is re-teeing. We'll find out what kind of leg he can get behind this one. The receivers for Statesville are lined up at their own 30. So they're going to get great field position out of this regardless. Low line drive kick between the runners, scooped up nicely by number 3, A.J. Sherrill. He goes up the middle, now breaks it to the outside. He's across midfield. He's got some open room. He's still going, and now he's got some blockers in front of him. He's at the 30, the 20, cuts it back inside. L.J. Forney finally brings him down, but it's going to be first and goal for the Greyhounds at the 9-yard line. And those penalties, 20 yards of penalties, and then giving up, I'm trying to figure out 41, about a 63-yard return.
It's actually a pretty good kick. He kicked it right between the two receivers, but
Sherrill scooted over quick and got in front of it, or would have kept going further. So it was a nice kick by Kendall. Problem was, they gave up a 63-yard return.
Well, first and goal at the 8.
So right after getting it to 2 touchdowns, the penalties and the return, and Statesville's in business. They give it to Davis. He goes to the outside, gets inside the 5, goes out of bounds at the 3. And Davis mocking the student section, trying to get them, for East Lincoln, trying to get them to cheer.
Ball carried by number 2, Matt Davis. Stopped by number 10, Braylon Smith.
But he gains 5 on that play, so it'll be second and goal from the 3. Certainly a very nice breeze coming in the window tonight. Perfect weather for football here. Just a slight breeze. Beats the 96 degrees we've dealt with. Davis burrows behind the line. He gets pushed from behind by Turner, and he's in for the touchdown. So another Whitetail Properties touchdown for Statesville with a 2-point conversion upcoming.
It looks like handoff from Turner for Davis, and he just straight up the gut and then got pushed in by Davis, or by Turner rather, to get that last little yard.
Seeing how the Bush push is now legal.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of last week when East Lincoln would score and then Hickory would come right back. Now it's Statesville just coming right back. Two-point conversion.
Yeah, and the two-point conversion is good. Davis runs it in right behind his lineman. So with 5:11 to go in the third quarter, it's Statesville 36, East Lincoln 14. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too.
Who are you going to call? Bug Busters. Since 1998, Bug Busters has been serving North and South Carolina with the very best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned, Bug Busters is there for your pest control, crawl space, encapsulation, termites, wildlife, structural repair, and waterproofing. Just call 704-732-2227 or visit their website at bugbusters.com. Like them on Facebook too. Bug Busters Pest Control and Home Improvement, 2863 Highway 27 East in Lincoln. Who you gonna call? Bug Busters.
Short kickoff by Gray, picked up by Jackson Beam. He returns it out to the East Lincoln 38-yard line. But again, they're trailing by 3 scores. They're going to have to move it quickly if they want to get back in this ball game.
Yeah, again, they found a little bit of spark last drive, just getting those balls out to the wideouts out in the flat. We'll see if that's their thinking here on this drive. But yeah, they've got to score. But the problem is that defensively, they're just not stopping anybody.
As Coach said on the pregame, 28 points last week against Hickory is usually enough to win, but they gave up 49 and they've already given up 36, and we're still 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Quick pass out, almost picked off. Beam makes the catch. Number 4, Justin Gallimore, just about jumped that one and went the other way.
Yeah, like you say, it's been those quick little passes to the receivers, and so they must have been talked to a little bit on the sideline, trying to jump some of those. Not backing off as much on this one. We'll see if they continue to do that going forward.
So loss of 4 on that one. He was hit as soon as the catch was made. Lawless back to pass, fires it out in the flat over the head of Shropshire, and bounces into the Statesville bench.
Yeah, Statesville basically playing 3-man front. They will bring an outside linebacker up to make it look like a 4-man front. But they've got one single high receiver, so you would think the outsides would be a little bit more open. But the corners are dropping off rather quickly. We'll see if they can try to get a completed pass here. It's 3rd down.
3rd and 14. Lawless empty backfield, lofts one down. He's got Beam out, but it's just past the edge of his hands. And he's clocked by Noah Owens right at the end of the play. So that falls incomplete. It's going to be a 3-and-out for East Lincoln. Or is it?
No, yeah, they're bringing Lawless off. I think they're going to try to punt it.
They are going to punt. Okay, there was a bit of a delay there. A lot of the offensive players had run back to get in formation.
Well, 4th and 14.
Yeah, it's not advisable.
I know you're down 22 points. Of course, Johnson's the up back. We'll see if.
There is a pretty good hole in the center of the line, but there is a linebacker lurking, Taven Rucker. Snapped it good. Good punt, gets it up in the air, the wind helping it along. Bounces and goes dead at about the 26-yard line.
Well, not a good series from the Mustangs there. They almost had the first play picked. Second pass was overthrown. And then the third down play again was broken up by the safety on not a badly thrown ball, but
just about 18 inches too far.
Yeah. As I mentioned, with the single high safety for Statesville, it was kind of one of the places you want to attack is out on the outside on the perimeter.
Statesville having a problem getting the right players on the field in the right places. Now they go off again. Chambers comes on, then goes right back off. Can't believe this is not a delay of game at this point. 4:15 to go in the third quarter. I think you'll see a steady dose of running here, and the first play goes to Davion Summers, and you've got a flag that comes in from the umpire or the back judge.
Yeah, I could say the receiver's doing a good job maintaining their blocks, but that time looked like he was possibly holding on that one.
And that is the call. So it'll be a 10-yard holding call against Statesville.
Holding call is going to go against the Greyhounds.
Their first penalty of the second half. There's somebody out here with a pretty good set of lungs is yelling at the officials. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. I don't know. As loud as he is, you may hear him better than us. So the penalty results in a 1st and 15. A spot foul there. So Turner, hands off. Not much there. Shropshire came up quickly to bust that play up. He didn't make the tackle, but he made the play.
Yeah, he definitely forced that inside where number 55, Brooks, is lurking. He's getting close to about 10 tackles this game. I think Statesville, I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, maybe trying to work the clock just a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to tell, as we know, because you can't see a play clock because they're not working.
So to bring up 2nd and 17. Ball at the 21-yard line.
This has to be close to a delay.
Watching the back judge here, his arm just went up. That's a signal for how much left? 5 seconds?
Usually.
Or 10. Now he's counting off. Yep, they didn't get it off. Did they call a timeout? Yes, they did. So we'll take a timeout here. We'll be back with more on the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Triad Corrugated Metal in Lincoln is this area's headquarters for premium metal roofing and supplies. And now just arrived, square tubing for metal carports and metal buildings. Give them a call at 980-429-2278 for pricing and sizes. And they have a wide variety of colors. Visit the website at triadcorrugatedmetal.com. And like them on Facebook too, Triad Corrugated Metal, 108 Industrial Park Road in Lincoln. Since 1919, Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Lincoln County and surrounding area. And today they continue to serve this area and beyond with quality fuels and outstanding service. In addition to fuel oil, they also carry all kinds of lubricants, from hydraulic fluid to automatic transmission fluid to farm lubricants, plus diesel fuel, home heating oil, and kerosene. That's Rhodes and Bill Oil Company, 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Call 704-735-2508 and online at nesbitoil.com.
Second and 17 for Statesville. Quick pass over the middle. Hits Nate Stevens right in the hands, but he can't hang on to it. He might have scored because there was nobody in front of him.
Nothing but beautiful green turf.
Nice green turf with a bright orange end zone awaiting him, and he just couldn't haul it in.
He might have been shocked that it was right to him.
Yeah, because it wasn't intended for him. That's certainly the case.
Big third down here. Clock stop.
3rd and 17. Ball at the 21-yard line. So if they're trying to milk some clock, that incomplete didn't help. Turner in the shotgun. Hands off. No, he keeps it. Pulls it back out. Fumbles, knocked out, and it just goes out of bounds. Ball was knocked out of his arms, was bouncing towards the sideline. Jalen Roseboro and company could not get to it in time. Would have been a huge turnover for East Lincoln.
Yeah, Brooks put his face mask right on the ball. Popped it loose. Looked like it was going to maybe stop dead before it went out, but just skirted out of bounds. But again, great defensive plays series there for the East Lincoln Mustangs. They needed that if they're going to try to get back in this game.
And that goes as a loss of 8 for Turner on that keeper. He really did take it out very quickly. When he did, there was plenty of help in the area. So back to punt is Noah Owens. And East Lincoln should have the ball in good shape inside Greyhound territory after the kick. Snap, kick, low kick into the wind. You can see it just dying. Does get a good bounce, though. Gets out to the 42-yard line, but it is the plus side of the field that East Lincoln will take over on. So let's take a look at some scores around the area. West Lincoln now leading Maiden 19-13. Bandy's all over East Burke. Newton, Conover, and Lincolnton still 8-7. Low-scoring game there. Bunker Hill destroying West Caldwell. That's not unusual. Unfortunately, West Caldwell's not very good. And we'll do some more scores here in a minute. East Lincoln's lined up and looking at Coach Beam for the offensive play call. Stevens in the backfield. 4 wide receivers. Lawless back, quick out pattern. Now he was going to throw it, pulls it back down, running. He finds the receiver, makes a little toss to Jalen Roseboro. Roseboro makes the catch for short gain on the play.
It looked like for a second there, I thought he was trying to do a little pump fake, bring those corners up, and then they were going to sort of run a little stop and go on the outside, but it never materialized.
So they get to the 40, gain of 2. We're inside 2 minutes, clock running on the third quarter. Lawless back to pass, throws a quick dart over the middle. It's intercepted. He was trying to get it to L.J. Forney. Pass is intercepted by Tyreek Carter. He jumped in front of the route, makes the catch, and returns it to the 45-yard line. So any good field position for East Lincoln is going to be nullified.
Trying to see what the penalty was. I mean, I think he was trying to hold up. Didn't really see a hit. I know he ran into the bench, but that was just momentum.
And another personal foul call on East Lincoln. I didn't see anything either. They just ran out of bounds. It was the East Lincoln player that knocked the bench over. Nothing happened to the Statesville player.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to hold him up from not going into the bench, and he's the one that ended up at the bench, and then they threw the flag on it.
I'm not sure about that one.
But the great read by Tyreek Carter. He's also got a fumble recovery earlier in the first half, so he's had a fumble recovery, now an interception. He just read the quarterback Lawless's eyes, dropped right down into that middle of the defense, and Lawless didn't see him, threw it basically right to him.
Yeah, he had the receiver. I mean, it was right on a line to him, but Carter came in from the backside, jumped the route, and made a good return. That return's got a 15-yard boost for it on a personal foul. Coach Lubowitz out talking to the official, trying to get some clarification on just what that was about. But the end result, Statesville will have the ball 1st and 10 at the Mustang 40. Minute and a half to go. Handoff goes to Summers. He goes around the left side. Good yardage there on that play. He's down at the 30-yard line, and that will be a first down. Forney on the tackle.
Yeah, we mentioned it before. When your corners and your safeties are making most of the tackles, and you know that they're getting past the first and second levels,
I believe Summers.
Timeout.
I believe Summers, the ball carrier, is down. He was cartwheeled to the turf on that tackle by Forney. So we've got 1:19 to go. Oh, there's a nice breeze coming through the press box. It's nice to feel, but it's blowing our papers around pretty well. So Summers is down on the field. Let's take a look at some other scores around the area of what I got in here. Kings Mountain beating North Gaston 35-0. Crest up big over Kramer. Community School of Davidson over Mountain Island Charter 23-6. Some of these small schools around here, these charter schools, are getting really good. Mountain Island's had some good teams. Community School of Davidson's been up and down, but they've had some pretty good teams. That's most of the scores of note. I mean, Crest over Kramer, that was to be expected. East Rutherford team we saw a couple weeks ago leading Chase 21-13. Handoff goes to Davis. He goes to the right side, cuts it back up, gets across the 30. So he'll pick up a couple yards on that play.
Okay, but number 2, Matt Davis.
And we're going to need another column for Davis. He's got so many carries now.
Yeah, less than a minute again. I think they're just going to get back to sort of their bread and butter. Just let that running back pick a hole, let the offensive line just put hats to hats and see if they could find something, cut it up inside and work some of this clock.
Watch the back judge. He'll give him a signal. We figured out what that was. Arm goes up at 10 seconds, and he starts counting like you see the basketball officials on the 10-second call, but at 5 seconds. Turner hands off to Davis, again going to right side, again cuts it back up. Maybe a gain of a yard.
Okay, by number 2, Matt Davis.
But again, the clock is rolling. We're at 15 seconds, so that should be the last play of the third quarter.
Yeah, it was good. You know, he was waiting on his blockers to get out and try to make a play, but good hustle by Johnson there to come from the backside and make the tackle.
So that's the end of the third quarter. Statesville leads East Lincoln 36-14. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week on KTC Broadcasting.
First Federal Savings Bank. They've been serving Lincoln County and the surrounding counties since 1940. If you're looking to build your dream home, purchase a new home, or buy land, they have the products and services for you. At First Federal Savings Bank, they want to get to know you by name and build a relationship for generations to come. Give them a call at 704-735-0416 or visit the website at ffsb-nc.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flipped through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their mini floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Lincoln County football brought to you by Bug Busters of Lincolnton, the title sponsor. Turner back to pass, throws one long into the end zone, a little bit too far for his receiver. And I believe we have a penalty on the play yet again.
Ineligible man. Ineligible lineman downfield.
Are they going to take this one? Because otherwise it would be 4th and 6. So they do take the penalty. Or will they? They have not moved it yet. The marker's on the sideline. Now they're moving it. So he did take the penalty. So a 5-yard call against Statesville. Repeat third down, but this time it'll be 3rd and 11. I don't know, 4th and 6, and you don't have a kicker, obviously.
Yeah, you know they're going to go for it, so.
So now they've got 2 plays to get 11 instead of 1 to get 6. So 2 men in the backfield on either side of Turner. Turner takes the snap, and the whistles go off yet again.
This side judge, I think he's got a spring in that flag.
He's got a spring in his legs, too. He comes flying off that sideline.
These receivers make one motion towards the line. He's throwing that flag.
The receiver better hope they don't burp and move. I mean, goodness.
I mean, I can see 1 or 2 of these, but
there's got to be 8 or 9 now, at least.
I don't know. Again, both teams look to the side to get the play call. So you wonder, but they should motion to the side, Judge.
Yep, you're seeing he's looking. He peels back a bit. Turner with a screen in the middle. He's got his running back. Nice catch there. Is going to be close to a first down. Depends on where they spot it. It looked to be Tyreek Carter on the catch. Nice setup there. Brought the defense in and threw it over the top.
Look, he's going to be just short. About 2 yards, 2-3 yards. Yeah, Marcel Johnson got him from behind. Great hustle. Not before 8 yards.
Got 14 on that. Got the penalty yardage back.
Yeah,
plus
about
that.
The false start.
There's so many, it kind of blurs after
They're all
a while.
running together.
Yeah, they're up to 10, at least 10 penalties already. And that's just Statesville. So 4th down and 2. Stacked backfield. Turner keeps it. Pulls his way up there, and he's across the 20, so it should be a first down. He's finally brought down at the 17 or 18-yard line. Well, that size, it shouldn't be an issue for him to get the first down.
Yeah, initially they might have had him stop, but, 260 and 6'2". Just keep churning, and he
Plus
was able
the
to
lineman.
get 4 yards. Yeah.
That's a lot of weight trying to move the defense forward. So another Turner Hauser Insurance first down for Statesville. And it's at the 18-yard line. Play clock is running down, and Statesville's still looking. Now a 5. They're going to have to snap it quickly, and they don't yet again. Another delay of game penalty on Statesville.
Delay of games and false starts.
Sounds like a tell-all book from a
zebra, from an official.
That's sounds like something you read in Tank McNamara. I don't know if you read that.
Yes, that was. I love Tank.
I love Tank.
Now we're showing our age with that one.
Yeah. Handoff, nothing much there. Goes to Noah Owens. He's the sacrificial lamb on that play. Send him into the middle of the line. Problem was, it was East Lincoln's line.
Little help from Brooks again.
So no gain on that play. Owens tries to go in the middle. Nothing doing there. Statesville is just content to let the clock run.
Yeah, keep the ball on the ground, keep the clock moving. I mean, they're in East Lincoln territory. You know they're not going to kick a field goal.
Summers in the backfield. Turner takes a snap, looks. He lofts one to the corner of the end zone. He's got Noah Owens over there. Passes too far out in front of him and falls incomplete. Good coverage by East Lincoln.
Trey Turner's pass was incomplete. Taking number 6, Noah Owens.
That's only the 6th pass attempted tonight that counted. There were a couple that were called back by penalties. That's only the 6th pass they've attempted tonight.
Yeah, that was interesting. I mean, we talked about Owens 6'5" going against number 10 for East Lincoln, Braylon Smith. And they pretty much have had single coverage down here, but they're, as we mentioned, just trying to run the clock out. And the wind at his back made him throw that a little long.
3rd and 15. Pitch goes to Owens. Owens tries to get out to the corner. Excuse me, it's Summers, number 5, not number 6. And there's nothing doing there. He's tackled by Marcel Johnson and company, and Johnson graciously helps him up off the ground.
And what's been the Johnson and Brooks show for East Lincoln's defense?
Loss of 3 on that one. 4th down and 16.
Yeah, Johnson messed up that hand earlier in the game. He's shaking it off again.
That's the left hand, I believe. Yeah, he's looking. It looks like the left wrist he's holding. And
that's the final timeout.
That's the timeout for Statesville. Their last. We'll come back after this. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
There's some big deals going on now at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Save big, and we mean big, on 4 remaining 2023 Buick Encore GXs. Plus, take $3,000 off any remaining 2023 Buick Enclave. And remaining 2023 Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra trucks are $1,500 off. Yes, these prices are red hot at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC, 1445 East Main Street, Lincoln. Online at abernathychevrolet.com. Where you get your tag does make a difference. At the North Carolina DMV Tag Office in Lincoln, they want to make sure your tag purchase experience is a pleasant one. They're located at 2683 East Main Street in Lincoln, in the Carolina Shopping Center. It's big and spacious, and they have plenty of attendants to help serve you. They want to get you in and out as fast as possible. The North Carolina DMV Tag Office at 2683 East Main Street in the Carolina Shopping Center, Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
Back at East Lincoln, 4th and 18 from the 26. Turner goes back to pass, throws one over the middle, and it's intercepted by Riley Shropshire. He's near the goal line when he picked it up, and he gets it all the way out to the 44-yard line, so about a 39-yard return. And East Lincoln finally stops Statesville on one of their drives, but they're going to need to get moving here. It's trailing by 3 scores with 8 minutes to go in the ball game.
Is that Shropshire down?
Yeah, we got another East Lincoln. Between the penalties and the injuries, it's going to be and a loss. It could be a very expensive night for East Lincoln here.
Yeah, I don't see number 5 coming over. I think that is Shropshire.
He had a head of steam going up the field, so if there was any collision, it was going to be a hard one.
Shropshire's right there. That's
no.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh, Hampton Good. Okay. He's up, limping off a little
water.
So an interception. So East Lincoln will have the ball at their own 44-yard line, 8:14 to go, but trailing by 22 points, so 3 scores plus.
Yeah, going to need a quick strike here.
Turnover would give the Mustangs a 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line.
He just gave thumbs up to his dad, so.
Okay.
Looked like he just got the wind knocked out of him, or maybe one of those stingers.
Possibly. So again, 3 wide receivers for East Lincoln to the right of the formation. Lofton one down the left side of the formation. They're going for Roseboro. The pass was intended for him, but it was a little too far in front and to the outside, so it falls incomplete.
Yeah, he kind of just took a 3-step drop, let it go. I think it's maybe because he was thinking it was into the wind that he was going to just try to get it up in the air a little bit more. So we're just a hair too quick and got too much on it to connect.
And it's hard to outthrow Roseboro. Track star went to states last year for East Lincoln in spring track, so he's got some speed. Lawless rolls, flushed out, and is intercepted. He was going for receiver down the sideline. Is picked off by Mac Davis, getting it done on offense and defense. Pass was intended for, trying to see, is it Forney? But no, it was Shropshire, and Davis just stepped right in front of it, came right up. It looked like it was going to be complete, and he just zipped right in front, picks it off. And that is the third interception of the night.
I think that's the third interception, yes.
And 2 fumbles.
Two
So
fumbles.
5 turnovers for the Mustangs. They're their own worst enemy here.
Yeah, I mentioned kind of earlier that the corners for Statesville were lining up 8 to 10 and then just backing off. So they're kind of playing zone, trying to keep everything in front, and he just read the eyes of Lawless, stepped right in front of it.
So 1st and 10 at the 38 on the change of possessions there. An interception for each team. Handoff goes over the left side. It's Mac Davis. Makes the interception, then gets the first carry. Gets it down to the 35 for a gain of 3.
Looks like I don't seeing some substitutions here for East Lincoln. That was Jack Campbell with the tackle for the Mustangs.
Statesville up big and has the football. Handoff to Davis. He's got an opening. Gets around Johnson. Gets down to about the 30-yard line. Started towards Johnson, then ran away from him. Well, I'd do that too. I don't want any part of Marcel Johnson if I'm out there.
Looks like Davis getting a little bit of a breather there. He's been the workhorse.
Yeah, he's up to 24 carries. Now he's only got 12 yards here in the second half. But they haven't needed him. They've been doing just fine without him. So 3rd and 2, ball on the Mustang 30-yard line. Turner, the shotgun, hands off, goes to number 21, Cottrell Mock. And Mock is going to be short of the first down. So yet another person running for.
Now number 9 is in.
So no gain on that one for Mock.
Well, 4th down, they're not going to kick.
Mock's been a very popular name here the last 3 weeks as everybody's getting their mock drafts around.
Oh.
Handoff again up the middle. That's going to be a first down this time. And then Moore, he breaks out, gets to the outside, gets to the corner, goes to the 5-yard line, gets shoved out of bounds. He was going to have the first down, maybe about a gain of 5, but he broke away and got to the sideline.
Well, we kind of saw that last week when on the 4th and 1 play for Hickory, they wrapped him up. Well, they stopped him. They didn't wrap him up because he was able to break free for whatever it was last week, 80 yards or 70 yards.
71 yards,
yeah. And it was the same sort of odd play there. They just make the initial contact, don't wrap up and bring him down.
So it looked to be about a gain of 17 or so on that play. And it'll be 1st and goal for Statesville at the 6-yard line. If it isn't already, the game isn't already put away, a score here would do it. Turner, hands off up the middle. Looking to see if it's 5 or 6 on the carry. 9, Tyreek Carter. He gets it down to the 3-yard line, so he gets halfway to the goal. Gain of 3. And it'll be 2nd and goal from the 3. Again, 36-14 Statesville, 4:43 to go in the ball game. Again, taking time, milking the clock.
Yeah, they're going to continue to do what they've been doing here the last little while. Let's run straight at them.
They've had a lot of plays they've run in this half and the game. The East Lincoln defense is getting tired, but good play there. They stop him short of the goal line. Gain of 2. That time it was Ramon Gray. So he gets a couple yards and he keeps the clock running. So a bonus there. Getting in the end zone isn't important really at this point.
Even if they get stopped here and it change of possession, they've got to have to go 98, 99 yards.
And still down 22.
And still down, 3 scores.
$10 on the play clock. Statesville. Trey Turner fumbles the ball, picks it up, and works his way towards the goal line. Looked like he was short, and a flag was thrown in there. We'll have to wait and see what that penalty was. Turner did a good job on that. Bad snap, fumbled it.
I wonder if they're going to call a face mask.
And they call a face mask on East Lincoln, so
new set of downs.
Goes from bad to worse for the Mustangs. You had them stopped, and now you give up an automatic first down with a face mask penalty.
And on the one.
They've got a 3rd and goal on the marker, and it's not going to matter. This time it's Ramon Gray through the right side. He scores, and another Whitetail Properties touchdown for the Greyhounds. And this one is officially going in the win column for Statesville. So Gray with a 3-yard touchdown, or 1-yard touchdown run rather.
Yeah, just a straight right up the gut, right behind that offensive line. That's what they've been doing. They might have him stopped on the conversion here. No good.
Too little, too late, though. James River Equipment conversion is no good. So on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, it's Statesville 42, East Lincoln 14. We'll be back with the rest of the game on the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Take your pick on a brand new Bobcat mower from West End Sales in Vail. Pick 0% APR on financing for 60 months or get an $800 instant rebate. You just take your pick and pick out your new Bobcat mower. Take a look at a Bobcat ZT2000, $500 instant cash rebate. A Bobcat ZT3000, $700 instant cash rebate. Or the Bobcat ZT3500 with an $800 instant rebate. See them today at West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail. Online at westendsales.com. Like them on Facebook too. No matter your lifestyle, Tyndall Ford in Gastonia has a car and a program just for you. Try Tyndall, trust Tyndall, and you'll love Tyndall Ford, who also happens to be the premier Roush dealer in the world. Check out the Discover Summer Sales event underway now. Ask about special financing plus cash back. And check out the selection of pre-owned vehicles. You're invited to become one of the Tyndall Ford family members today. Tyndall Ford, 1901 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at TyndallFord.com, serving this area since 1974.
Kickoff for East Lincoln is returned by Jackson Beam. He gets the ball back to the 34-yard line, it looks like. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs, now trailing by 4 touchdowns. Just 3:02 to go in the ball game. So East really just wants to try and see if they can do something here to build some momentum for next week. But it's not been a good 2 weeks for the Mustangs. You face probably the 2 best teams in the conference, and they have come up short each time. Wallace in the shotgun. No, that's Hunter Bowling.
Another interception by Statesville. That's their 4th interception.
And with 2 fumbles, that's 6 turnovers. You've got a half dozen.
Mustang pass was intercepted.
So
anyway, Davis, 4 interceptions by 4 different players.
So before we could even.
That's 2 for 2.
Yeah, he 2 in a row for Matt Davis there.
I think I gave it to 4 on that one. Other one.
So another interception. This time it was Hunter Bowling into the game, the backup quarterback. He was throwing a long out pattern, and Mac Davis is just sitting there watching the quarterbacks and jumping the routes. So 2:54 to go. Statesville will have the ball.
Here comes
and they're
77.
trying to get the clock rolling here.
Jonathan Eccles in for Statesville, the 405-pound offensive lineman.
Marcel is having a conversation with one of the Statesville linemen. And Statesville looks like they're just going to take another delay penalty yet again.
The problem with that is it stops the clock.
Right. I'm an official at this point. Just start the sucker and let's go. It's 4 touchdowns. There's 2.5 minutes.
It's not going to matter. I think he's going to take a knee anyway.
Yeah, they're in the victory formation. So Turner just takes a step back, drops a knee, and Statesville with a 42-point output. This is a team that you said had only scored 59 points all season.
Yeah, we had them 59 points for, 56 against, so they're going to definitely improve on those stats. And this is the second straight week that East Lincoln's given up 40-plus.
Well, they'll get a bit of a reprieve here, but not a total one. West Iredell next week, and they're an improved team. They're not up at the level of the other 4 that are considered the top half of the conference, but they're getting closer. Second year under I can't remember his first name. It was Coach Basil of North Lincoln. His son went over to West Iredell. Took a couple coaches from North Lincoln with him. They were better towards the end of the season last year.
Well, before today, they've scored 151 points, West Iredell, so East Lincoln doesn't get much reprieve on that, going against the defensive side.
So it's 3rd and 17, another loss of 1 on the victory formation kneel down by Turner. That's first road game of the year. If they're going to score this many points, maybe Statesville should stay on the road. I don't know how you get 4 straight home games in the beginning of the season, but they did it.
Well, their next 2 games are home against Ford and then home against West Iredell.
Well, definitely Ford should not be a problem. We'll see how much improved West Iredell really is here.
And then they'll finish against Hickory, so that might be...
If I remember correctly, West Iredell was winning their game. I'm looking to see here. I don't see a score in the list that we had from earlier. So again, Turner with a kneel down, clocks at 33, and that will probably be the final play of the ball game. I think I saw the West Iredell score when we were going through max prep, so we'll try and get some more scores here, and we'll wrap up this game. So as the clock runs down, 10 seconds to go, that's going to be the last play of the game. The referees are just making sure there's no issues during the post-game handshake. And so the clock runs out, and your final score, Statesville 42, East Lincoln 14. We'll be back with the stadium post-game show after this timeout. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week on KTC Broadcasting and LincolnCounty.com.
Full Throttle Power Sports and Law is proud to announce the addition of Brian Lane to their sales staff. And Brian wants to take this time to invite his friends and former customers of Al Lane Motorsports in Lincoln to come see him at Full Throttle Power Sports and Law, featuring brand names like CF Moto, Yamaha, Honda, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Polaris, and more. See Brian Lane at Full Throttle Power Sports, 101 Indian Walk of I-85 in Law, online at ncfullthrottle.com.
Bennett Funeral Service is a proud supporter of Lincoln County Athletics, and we wish them a successful season. Bennett Funeral Service is family-owned and operated by Robbie and Rhonda Bennett, and they care about you and your family, featuring traditional funerals and cremation services. And yes, pre-planning transfers are accepted. For more information, call 828-465-2111. Visit their website at BennettFuneralService.com. In your time of need, call upon Bennett Funeral Service, 7878 Highway 16 in Newton and 502 First Avenue South in Conover. We are here for you.
It's the all-new Nissan of Shelby, where they do the right thing. First time, every time. Nissan of Shelby now has new management, plus a big new inventory with new prices, giving you a whole new customer experience. Check their amazing lineup, Nissan Rogues and Muranos, and trucks like the Nissan Frontier and Titan, plus a wide range of pre-owned vehicles with special rates and pricing. Come to the all-new Nissan of Shelby, 631 South Post Road, right off Highway 74 East in Shelby. Online at nissanofshelby.com.
Folks, if you are looking to buy a new metal building, let me tell you the place to go. Unrivaled Metal Buildings in Lincolnton. With over 20 years experience, they specialize in metal carports, garages, RV covers, storage sheds, and more. They offer bank financing and a credit-free rent-to-own program. All of their units are engineered certified to meet local wind and snow requirements. Commercial sizes are available as well. Address is 2541 East Main Street, Lincolnton, or call 844-848-8676. Also, check their website out at unrivalledmetalbuildings.com.
Full Throttle Power Sports and Law is proud to announce the addition of Brian Lane to their sales staff. And Brian wants to take this time to invite his friends and former customers of Al Lane Motorsports in Lincoln to come see him at Full Throttle Power Sports and Law, featuring brand names like CF Moto, Yamaha, Honda, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Polaris, and more. See Brian Lane at Full Throttle Power Sports, 101 Indian Walk of I-85 in Law, online at ncfullthrottle.com. First Federal Savings Bank. They've been serving Lincoln County and the surrounding counties since 1940. If you're looking to build your dream home, purchase a new home, or buy land, they have the products and services for you. At First Federal Savings Bank, they want to get to know you by name and build a relationship for generations to come. Give them a call at 704-735-0416 or visit.
Another rough night for the Mustangs as they go down to Statesville 42-14. Time for some post-game awards here, brought to you by the Campers Inn of Kings Mountain on the Stadium post-game show. Starting out, we'll have a recap of the game, and basically this one got over with pretty early. First play of the game, Chris Daly not only fumbles the ball but gets injured and does not return. So the big workhorse for the Mustangs out, and we don't know for how long. We did not see him on the sideline at the second half at all, whether street clothes or otherwise. So that'll be a big thing going forward. Nate Stevens and Marcel Johnson came in, did a pretty good job when they were in together. Problem is they both play a lot on defense, so you can't really keep them in there the whole game on both sides of the ball. They've got to get some rest at some point.
Yeah, but then, there was that, and then you can't turn the ball over 6 times and expect to win a ball game. But, I think they were sort of shocked with that injury that kind of hit them right out of the gate, and just never could really recover to keep themselves in the game. They kept shooting themselves in the foot with the turnovers, and then some of the penalties even kind of put them behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, Statesville actually ended up with more penalties, but the yardage seemed about the same because East Lincoln kept getting unsportsmanlike and holding calls and blocks in the back, stuff like that. So that didn't help them. But once it got to 7-7, that was pretty much it. After that, it was all Statesville. They scored several touchdowns. East only managed one in the second half, a touchdown pass to Jackson Beam. And they've got some work to do at East Lincoln before next week's game at West Iredell. So that's a recap of the game. Basically, it was Statesville coming out. Then when they got the interceptions, they had short field and took advantage of it. So the recap of the game brought to you by Parker Farm Service at Kings Mountain. And so at this point, we're going to go on with some awards, starting with the Subway Sub of the Game, brought to you by Subway of Boger City.
Yeah, well, not knowing exactly Statesville-wise who was starting, who was subs, but, Tyreek Carter for Statesville, felt like he came in, did a great job, had, 2 solo tackles, was able to get a fumble recovery, and also had one of the interceptions for Statesville. And other than, like I say, when we get to our overall player of the game, they were just dropping off, just picking Lawless or, Bowling, whoever was back there, and just coming in and just jumping on that football. And Coach Lubowitz kind of said that in his pregame, that they ball hawk, they get to the ball quick, and we saw that tonight.
Definitely. So Tyreek Carter of Statesville is our Subway Sub of the Game. Subway in Boger City sponsors that award. Next up is our Offensive Player of the Game, brought to you by Rhodes and Beal Oil Company of Lincolnton.
Again, kind of a strange game in that, a lot of the offensive was kind of spread out really on both sides. East Lincoln didn't have too much, but Riley Shropshire was able to, make some plays here and there, was able to score a touchdown in the first half, came up with some big plays for East Lincoln, and so he's going to be that Rhodes and Bale Oil Company of Lincolnton Offensive Player of the Game.
And next up is our Defensive Player of the Game, brought to you by Triad Corrugated Metals of Lincolnton.
Yeah, like I say, it's almost like every time we cover East Lincoln, he could give it to one of two guys on the defensive side of the ball, but Raiden Brooks, again, was just, was all over the field. Either was, finishing up tackles or, getting up into the line and making the running backs bounce outside. But, I had him down for 8 solo tackles, 3 assists. Could have had a heck of a lot more. Another great all-around game by Raiden Brooks for East Lincoln.
And as you said, coming into the game, we didn't really know who was the starters, who was what for Statesville. But one thing we did notice looking in the videos is number 2, Mac Davis for Statesville, could get to the outside and get some yardage, and he did that. He was the workhorse tonight. So time now for our overall player of the game, brought to you by Abernathy Chevrolet of Lincolnton.
Yeah, like I say, if anybody's listening, they're probably wondering why really offensively it was just kind of spread out, but except for Statesville's workhorse, Mac Davis. We had him for 24 carries, 150 yards, a couple of touchdowns, but as well, 2 interceptions on the defensive side, playing one of the cornerback positions, just dropping off and just reading the eyes of Lawless on his first interception, but bowling on the second one. But he was pretty much all over the field, both sides of the ball. So that's definitely the overall player of the game for tonight's matchup for Statesville against East Lincoln.
So again, the final score, Statesville with a convincing win, an offensive explosion for them. They hadn't had above 18 points, I think, in a game this year.
Yeah, they had a total of 59 points coming into the game. They scored 42 tonight. So, yeah, they just took advantage of those turnovers, had that short field, and were able to punch some in. And, again, it was spread out other than Davis getting a couple of those touchdowns throughout the game. But that was a little bit more of East Lincoln miscues and Statesville just taking advantage of it again, with the short field.
Well, and another thing, the last 2 weeks, I think, have shown that East Lincoln is vulnerable. If you stay away from Johnson, you can run the football.
Yeah,
a lot of tackles by the secondary tonight.
Right, and we saw maybe Johnson, maybe didn't have as many tackles as Brooks, but they're trying to move him around, try to take advantage of an offensive lineman here or there, try to use what he does well, which is penetrate, get to the backfield. He ran a couple down from the backside, but but you stay away from him, you got your chances of success are, they go up. But I saw that Statesville's offensive line was trying to get to Brooks because East Lincoln's defensive front pretty much left the center uncovered. So I think the center was trying to get to Brooks to mitigate him as much as they could, but with moving Johnson around, they ran away from him, got to Brooks on some of their blocks, but Brooks, again, was still able to make 8 solo tackles as well for East Lincoln.
Well, that'll wrap it up here at East Lincoln. Next week, we're scheduled to go to Lincolnton, as we'll have Bandy's at Lincolnton. I did that game solo last year, and there was some crazy things that happened up at Bandy's. It was a very entertaining, very explosive, and very contentious game. There was a trick play right before the half, and then a scuffle after the extra point. The 2 teams got into it. The coaches were out there. Coach Barnes for Bandy's went out to try and break it up, and next thing you know, he's laying on the turf. He blew out his ACL trying to break up a fight. I talked to him after the game. He goes, I thought I got shot. So, and then, so that got both sides fired up. The officials never got to the locker room. They got the teams in there. The 2 coaching staffs were just talking back and forth with the officials, probably trying not to get somebody thrown out, because I swear I saw punches thrown, and it was just very contentious in the second half. Lincolnton came back to win the game. But so it should be an interesting game next week as they come back off of that little fiasco, shall we say. And they'll be in Lincolnton next week. Bandy's appeared to be ahead. They had defeated East Burke, and Lincolnton, last we saw, it was 8-7 Newton Conover. But the way Lincolnton's been this year, they tend to start slow and finish fast, so they may have a good chance in that game. So that'll do it from here. We thank you for joining us. Our title sponsor for Lincoln County High School football is Bug Busters of Lincolnton. You've been listening to the Stadium Postgame Show brought to you by Campers Inn of Kings Mountain. Thank you to JP back in the studio for running the commercials and the coach's interview in the pregame. I'm Dave Potter. He's Scott Tudor. Thank you for joining us, and good night.
First Federal Savings Bank. They've been serving Lincoln County and the surrounding counties since 1940. If you're looking to build your dream home, purchase a new home, or buy land, they have the products and services for you. At First Federal Savings Bank, they want to get to know you by name and build a relationship for generations to come. Give them a call at 704-735-0416 or visit the website at ffsb-nc.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flipped through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their mini floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See the page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.